TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams will make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
Fáilte gona úsla agus fáilte go dí Parky Sog TEG. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to TEG Cusick Park for this afternoon Shay Murtagh Precast Intermediate Football Championship semi-final either Tubberclair agus Balla Willen between Milltownpass and Tubberclair. I'm joined, it's Paul Doolan here on commentary, and I'm joined this afternoon on co-coms by Tom Brown. And Tom, we're after having an extremely exciting ladies camogie final, senior A camogie final here. Clonkill have stopped Harney from 11 in a row. Amazingly, it was the last puck of the ball, and there's still some of the remnants still hanging around here, but both teams are out for this intermediate semi-final. And Tom, we say this year on year, the intermediate championship is just an absolute minefield to get through, and today is to pick a winner out of today. You'd want to be Harry Houdini to pick a winner out of today.
Yeah, if you give me one game that I would have handpicked to go to this weekend, it was this one. It was two teams that have been lighting up the championship in different ways over the year. Good omen for Tubberclair is Goldsmith Girls are just after being crowned intermediate champions out in Bannacarrigy. Second loss in a row for Loughlin Valley. But Milltownpass negotiated Section B of intermediate pretty well, and then they got a nice win here against Multifarnham in the quarter-final, having the experience, I suppose, a little bit of playing in Cusick Park. Tubberclair, for me, though, have been the form team. They had a little blot in the copybook with the game against Milltown out in Tang, but they've been putting up great scores. They have the potential to win the intermediate championship. They have to win this game obviously first, but these are two teams that I would love to see up in Section B of the senior level, because I think they give it a good go.
Yeah, and speaking of that, both teams were very impressive here the last day. We seen them. The last time I seen Tubberclair here was against Shandona, and Shandona, who had been shooting the lights out previous to that in that championship. Tubberclair get them a bit of a trimming here that afternoon. Similarly, Milltownpass here, a couple of stumbling blocks along the way against Multifarnham, but you always felt, Tom, that they were the better team and that they were going to have it. And you know, this is going to be a battle of scores, which is what we want in the game. You know, if anything about the new rules, these are the type of games we now want to see, because we know that both teams are going to give everything to try and score now, whereas defending heretofore prior to the new rules. And I think we have two teams that are of that ilk. They will want to score. They will want to put up scores on the board as opposed to defending in particular.
Yeah, for Tubberclair, a great addition to their management this year was Keith Higgins. We know him here from, I remember watching him here, he was 10 points down at half time with Kilbeggan, and they came back and won that game. Very, very good manager, a good manager with Milltownpass, David Martin. So they'll have plenty of experience and good attacking mindsets. The modern game, you have to be able to win your kickouts, you have to be able to attack. The back and forth is kind of going away from the game. It's more about your inside forward line being lively on the ball and getting the scores. And the talent that we have on show, I see Mark McHugh just in front of us here in the stand, the new inter-county manager. He's going to be treated, I think, to a very good game, but very good talent on show for both sides.
Well, you would know the Milltownpass or the Tubberclair lads a little bit more, I suppose, Tom. And looking down their lineup, it's just it's kind of a who's who, particularly from underage level. I would know them from underage level, been involved with Shamrocks over the last couple of years, and they've seamlessly come through. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they have, and they've matured a little bit from last year, even in their scoring. They don't look as nervous as they did last year. It's no harm for them to get a couple of knocks down at the intermediate level, but I think they're just cooking nicely this year to be able to win the intermediate championship and give a senior a right rattle. Finn Duffy was on the under 20, Keelan Connell, Gavin Delaney, 3 inside forward lines, very, very good. We obviously know Matthew Whitaker is an exceptional footballer.
And he won't play where he's named, Tom. Let's be honest about that.
He won't play. Fred Keller, a good player, number 11. Paul Keane Tomberg. These are all very, very good intermediate players and guys ready to make the step up, I suppose, into an intermediate final and maybe a senior title. And then, what can you say about the Milltownpass forward line? They have probably...
I can't say enough about the Milltownpass because whether I say yeah or nay, I'm going to be told that I'm mitigating against Milltownpass, which is not the case. But I think they've been the most impressive team I've seen this year. Yeah. I thought Tubberclair against Shandona were exceptional, but Milltownpass consistently over the year have been extremely impressive, to me anyway.
Yeah, what I would say at the start of the year is Milltownpass forward line is probably the best intermediate forward line, balance-wise, everything. And now you have the added addition of Sam Duncan back in there at number 8. I'm very intrigued at how he's going to go up against Owen McCabe today. That'll probably be a little bit
of a battle, yeah.
It's who's going to win that midfield battle, get the ball into their inside forward line. Like Brandon Kelly, he has a bundle of goals scored this year.
Yeah.
How are the Tubberclair backline going to be able to curtail him? And then how are the Milltownpass backline going to be able to curtail Matthew Whitaker and the forward line that they have? We were set up for one of the most exciting games, I think, in the intermediate championship over the last couple of years here today, especially with the new rules.
And I agree with you. And if I'm looking at the Milltownpass, like the 3 O'Reillys there in the back line, we talk about the forward line of Brandon Kelly and the scores that he has knocked up. But the reason he's knocking up those scores is because they are just exceptionally tight at the back. They're a really good defensive team. The 3 O'Reillys have been exceptional this year. The addition of Sam Duncan, I think, is a huge thing. Gavin Glennon, unnoticed heretofore, maybe by a lot of people, but I think over the last number of years he's probably been the go-to player. And 2 players I think that have stood out for me over the last number of games from Milltownpass are the 2 corner forwards, Emmett and Liam Brennan. Everything seems to flow through them. The focus for most teams is on Brandon Kelly, whereas the 2 boys are just steadily along, just getting in there, getting the hand in there. One thing I will say is, one I'm looking forward to today is, I've watched Tubberclair on a number of occasions this year, and the outstanding player, and indeed for the last couple of seasons, has been their cornerback, Steve McGonigal. I think he's an inter-county player in the waiting there. I cannot for the life of me understand why he hasn't got it so far. And it's going to be interesting to see, is he going to pick up Kelly? Is he going to pick up one of the Brennans? I think that's a very interesting matchup. I think the midfield, as you suggested, is going to be an even bigger matchup. They're 2 very strong physical sides, Tom.
Yeah, the word on the street about Keegan Higgins and Daniel Salmon is they're very good at setting up game plans for who they're playing. So it'll be interesting to see who those matchups are. Dave Martin is obviously in his 3rd year with Milltownpass, very experienced manager, has inter-county selecting experience as well. They're going to be have their matchups probably for the last 2 weeks. But the one thing I would say about Milltownpass, if you are looking for a favourite, I'd be worried slightly for Milltownpass's form, even though they did come through Section B. They only bet Gary Castellelli by 2 goals, 6 points, 2-7 to 7 points. They didn't beat Castellan Finney. Okay, they were already through, but they did get the game up here in the quarter final against Multifarm. Scored 4-14, was it? 2-14. So they have that lovely little experience of a win here in the playoffs, and they're where they're set. They're probably a little bit unknown for this year where Tubberclair are, but Tubberclair have nothing to fear, I feel, in this game, in the sense that they've played all the top teams at intermediate level already. They've beaten them. Milltown, yeah, they had a little blip against them, but only by a couple of points out in Tang. It's Milltownpass. Can they make the step up past the likes of Multi-Farnhams and the Rosemounts and all that into actually beating the top team, I think, in the Intermediate Championship, Tubberclair? It's going to be a tough task.
That leads us quite handsomely into we'll announce the teams now. So we give you Tubberclair first in goals is Kevin Fagan. Steve McGonigal is at 2, Cahill Ty is at 3, and Taylor Slevin at 4. James Madden is at 5, Tom Keller at 6, and Matthew Whittaker is at 7. Lorna Park, Ever Hook, number 8, Darragh O'Connor, and 9 is Owen McCabe. 10 is Paul Keegan, 11 Fred Keller, and 12 is Tom Burke. Finn Duffy is at 13, Keelan Connell is at 14, and at top of the left at 15 is Gavin Delaney. Milltownpass line out as follows in goals: Rory Coyne, Garrett O'Connor's at 2, Liam Riley at 3, and Paul Riley at 4. Michael McCormick is at 5, Noel O'Reilly at 6, and Tony Loftus at 7. Sam Duncan at 8 at the centre of the field, along with Gavin Glennon, we're 9. Ushing Coogan at 10, Finbar Coyne at 11, and Liam Gorman at 12. And it's Emmett Brennan at 13, Brandon Kelly at full forward at 14, and Liam Brennan at 15. The referee for this afternoon's contest is Mick Murtagh from the Downs Club. We're almost ready for throw-in, Tom, and this is a game, as you said, I've been looking forward to it all week. I've been looking forward to the 2 games here today, and indeed the 2 games tomorrow. I think we're going to have two crackers of an afternoon here. We're after being treated to a Graham Cogorgicus, the Clonkill. Congratulations to Clonkill, who won the hurling match. Another player I haven't mentioned as well, Tom, for Milltownpass that I think has been very good is Ushing Coogan at wing half forward. But the ball is in, game is on. Interested to see who gets the first touch of the ball. Darragh O'Connor gets it out. Tubberclair go on the first attack, gives it out to Paul Keegan. Tubberclair with the first attack now, bring it inside the 45. Milltownpass have just kept the 3 forwards up, indeed the 4 up, but it's played around now. Owen McCabe takes it back. Tom Kelleher, centre half back, gives it out to Matthew Whittaker. Again, it's a lot of lateral movement here, Tom. It's
early doors, so it's just
doors.
2 teams feeling each other's out. It's going to be a little bit of this for the first 5 until the first couple of scores goes over. Just teams feeling each other out.
Chance now. Nice work by Tom Burke, but that's gone astray, and Milltownpass intercepted well.
Yeah, good
Sam
cut out
Duncan
there
now.
of possession there by Tony Loftus.
Duncan
He seemed to
takes
drop
off.
into that hole.
On it goes. Makuga. It's gone into Liam Gorman. Gorman pulls it across to Brandon Carey. Carey, his first ball in. Gives it into his centre half forward. That's Finbar Coyne. Finbar still holds on to it onto the left foot. Probably not his preferred choice, but Finbar has knocked it up and over the bar. That's a really good score. Unfavoured left foot, let's be honest about it,
we didn't mention Finbar too much in the build-up there, but we all know how good he is. That's an excellent score to get Milltownpass off
down the centre again, though.
Point lead.
It's a quick play. Quickly shifted on. McCabe over on the far side. McCabe looks up. He's looking for one of the forwards. He has one. It's gone into the full forward. That's Keelan Connell now. Keelan holds on to the ball. Ball comes back around the centre of the field, but nobody seems to want it. And Owen McCabe eventually he goes and picks it up. It's lateral from Tubberclair to one, but eventually it comes out this side to Cahill Ty. Cahill named it full back, but as we've seen on many occasions this season, numbers on the backs, Tom, mean absolutely 0 in this game. Nice ball in. Gavin Delaney now. Gavin is dispossessed and it's done well by Ushing Coogan. Ushing does well. Gets it out to Liam Brennan. Emmett Brennan. Emmett still in possession. Does well. Gets it out of the attacking. Gives it on to Duncan now. Duncan right down this in front of us here, in front of our position here. Moving swiftly. He's looking for Kelly. But instead it goes to Liam Brennan. Liam Brennan gets it into Kerry eventually. Kelly now. On just outside the 14. That's a beautiful little chip over the bar.
Yeah, and
a lively start from the Milltownpass.
A lively start.
There's no waiting around, Tom. They're getting the ball into that forward line and getting it in quickly.
Yeah, and the slow play by Tubberclair coming up the field is allowing Milltownpass to get into their defensive structure. They're not able to break that line. They're able to fast break, and the first ball in, and that's a good score from Brandon Kelly.
What a beautiful catch by Sam Duncan. We mentioned it at the start of it, and McDan.
2 of the star players for Milltownpass on the score sheet already.
Yeah.
With 3 minutes gone.
Over to the far side of the field now from Milltownpass. It's Tony Loftus. Gives it into Finbar. We didn't mention too much about him, but he has been another one of them. Gives it into Brennan. ball out over to the far side, back out to Loftus. Again, it's Tubberclair now that have massed the ranks. Back into Finbar. Finbar looks up, doesn't see a whole lot available to him, but eventually sees Tony Loftus coming on the loop. Tony gets a little bit of space, he's looking for it, but that's a poor pass by Tony. It only goes to Paul Keegan. Paul Keegan gets it over to the far side. Matthew Whittaker now. Whittaker takes off at the centre of the field. Whittaker goes by 3, leaves 3 in his way. Gives it on to Delaney. That's a foul after the ball. Mick has his hand up. No question in that one, but he's going to allow play on. He's going back for the free. There definitely was a foul on Matthew Whittaker.
Yeah, and a little bit more intent from Tubberclair. They did well there defensively.
A little bit more direct as well, Tom.
And broke quicker than they were before. Again, it's going to take a couple of minutes for two teams to settle down there, but early doors, Milltownpass have settled it better.
Actually, I thought that was a free to Tubberclair. He had waited for a free to Tubberclair, but he's given a completely opposite. It's gone to Milltownpass, and they're now moving with the ball over onto this side of the field. Michael McCormack tries to get it into Brennan, but that's just gone a little bit too far. It's going to be cleaned up at the back. Tubberclair back in possession. Just haven't got to the pitch of the game yet, the green and gold, Tom.
No, they're slowly, but Milltownpass have started lively. They've set themselves up nicely, and they've got the ball early into their inside forward line. Their inside forward line are actually winning their battle so far. They're just a little bit late with Tubberclair getting the ball up the field.
Tom Keller gets the ball into brother Fred. Fred now. Another player we hadn't mentioned so far. He's had a really good championship for Tubberclair so far. Ball is still being played around the fringes here. Tom Burke. Burke is still going with the ball. He's looking at McCabe. Has made a run for him. McCabe takes it on. McCabe is going to have a shot from outside the D. Is this going to carry enough? And no, and McCabe with one strike of his foot, Tom.
Yeah, and
that's a beautiful score.
That's the beauty of the new rules. You can get 2 good scores and then go back down to the field and be out of the game. Next thing, you have a man like McCabe who's able to kick an absolute fantastic 2-pointer to bring it back level.
A bit of a worry here from Milltownpass. See Gavin Clennon has gone down at the centre of the field. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but he's getting some attention there at the moment. It looks like a hand injury by the looks of things, but he's still getting attention there. Play still goes on. O'Reilly. Noel does well, but he's surrounded by Tubberclair play. Still does extremely well, but it's knocked out of his hand, and it's going to be a sideline ball to Tubberclair. Again, Tom, for the life of me, there's supposed to be nobody on the sideline, only the manager, and I see 4 from either side.
Yeah, it's hard
There's
to keep.
A ball across the centre. Who's going to make it? Oh, it's Liam Gorman eventually gets
the break on here from Milltownpass. They get it.
Picks it straight off the ground.
A bit of descent now, and now it's going to be a 21 yards.
Silly. He did make the mistake of picking it up off the ground, and now it's going to be brought in. It's going to be a 14-yard free. And look at Tom, another one of the new rules that I'm totally in agreement for, and referees are going to take no sort of soot from a lad anymore. The day of arguing with a referee, that's gone. Forget about it. All you're going to do is penalise yourself by doing it.
Yeah, and interesting, McCabe is going for the 2-pointer instead of bringing it all the way in. So this is the chance.
Interesting to note as well, Tom, we're looking at the flags over here on top of the scoreboard, and there doesn't seem to be any movement. I didn't notice any much wind advantage for either side here in coming through the gates. It's Owen McCabe, but Owen McCabe has kicked it down.
Yeah, there's no rain, no wind. It's a perfect day for football. Lovely temperature. Thank God. Hopefully it keeps it going like that for the weekend. But at the moment, there's no wind so no advantage for either team.
Rory Coy now with the kick out. Again, they're playing it short. Looking to get a man early in possession now. Nicely shipped on. Liam O'Reilly. Liam is in a bit of a quandary there. He eventually gets it back. Tubberclair have certainly stepped up the intensity there, but it comes back. Noel O'Reilly now. Noel looks long. Looking for Brandon. Brandon has been marked this time, but Brandon still gets a hand to it. Steve McGonigal does very well. I mentioned him at the start of this game, but he's hooked. In hurling parlance, he's hooked. Brandon Kelly is going to get a free here no matter what happens. It's going to be a free in.
Yeah,
he had the ball in his possession twice. He had dispossessed Brandon Kelly, but Brandon Kelly stuck to his task well, and it's going to be a simple tap over, I think, by Finbar Kine.
Already that's an interesting matchup, Steve McGonigal and Brandon
it's
Kelly.
One I expected, I have to be honest with you. If ever a player was going to mark another player, that was one I picked up. Finbar just knocks it up and over the bar. His second of the game. 3 points to 2 here in TEG Cusack Park. 8 minutes gone here. And it's been interesting, Tom. Maybe not the open, free-flowing football we thought it might be at the start, but it's early doors.
Yeah, technically it should be 3-3. I would have brought that ball like McKay went for the 2-pointer, I would have brought it in and tapped it over the bar and got a lead. Every score is going to be vital in this game.
Ball into the centre. Again, it's Milltownpass are getting on a lot of that breaking ball. Duncan has been on a mountain of possession there. Gives it into Oisín Coogan. Coogan now, he's looking for Kelly. Kelly has this one. Kelly, he's right over to the far side. Kelly, little bit of a jink and a dodge, and he kicks it, and it's gone off the cross. It's gone off the upright. It's going to come back into play. A little bit unlucky there, Tom. I didn't think he had an angle there, but created a good bit of space there for himself to get the ball.
There I'd say he's winning that battle at the moment there, and he nonchalantly got onto his right hand foot and just unlucky with his shot. But it's good signs.
It's just the composure he shows.
Yeah, it's good signs for Milltownpass that he's getting on the ball early and showing a bit of confidence.
Composure is what amazes me every time, you know. And he's been targeted. Let's be honest about him. Every team that goes out against him are targeting him because they know that's a great run down along the sideline though. But James Madden eventually gets it off.
Yeah, just interesting. Tony Loftus is just sitting in there in front of the 14, making it difficult for Tubberclair to give the early ball in because it's 2 man on.
Another go on a 2-pointer. This is going to drop way short anyway. Straight into the arms of Rory Coyne. Rory has no problem dealing with that one, and that was a bit of a lash, Tom, if we're honest.
Yeah, and again, as I was saying, it's the Tony Loftus just is not giving the Tubberclair guys the look inside for that quick ball. There's just 2 man and 1 inside there. It's just making them think an extra second.
That's a great tackle. What a super tackle that time by Matthew Whittaker. He's regarded as a forward, but that's a super tackle by him. Chance here for Tubberclair. That's gone to the right and wide, a second wide, and again a chance spurned. And interested to know Matthew Whittaker hasn't had the influence that we thought he might have so far, Tom.
No, he's got 1 ball out the field. Made a good run for the first score that they have, but it'll take him a while to settle. But once he does get going, he will be a danger threat to breaking that line of the defensive structure of Milltownpass.
Milltownpass down the centre, looking for Duncan. Duncan taps it down, but it's only to a Tubberclair man. That's Tom Kelleher. Tom Kelleher is fouled. It's going to be a free in. Tom Kelleher plays on. I think Gavin Glennon is struggling a little bit out there, Tom. He's holding that arm. Maybe I'm wrong, but he doesn't look 100% comfortable now. Tubberclair back on the attack now, out to Whittaker, the playmaker. Whittaker takes it on. He's inside the D. Gives it out to Paul Keegan. Keegan now looks up. See, there's a man coming off the shoulder. That man is a corner back, and that's going to go out for a 45. It came off the boot, I think, at Taylor Slevin that time. And as we know, Tom, Taylor Slevin is named at 4. If he stays at 4 in that position that he's named at, I lay stones because he's not going to stay in that position. He's a very, very attacking cornerback.
Yeah, but
and more of the modern game. Again, that's more of the modern game.
Yeah,
where cornerbacks are now on the score sheet invariably every game.
Yeah, but I prefer now. He took that shot there. I prefer if he just slipped it back to Matthew Whittaker, who was going inside there at speed. Would have been a guaranteed score. But an intriguing first 11 minutes of the game, Paul.
Yeah, it's getting to know each other a little bit here, and Kevin Fagan now with a chance to level things here from the 45. We're 11 minutes gone here in TG Cusick Park. That one's drifting out to the right. It's eventually grabbed by Gavin Coogan, but he's dispossessed the chance now for a goal. Oh, I thought for a second there Fred Keller was after getting the opening score of the game, but he pulled it badly wide.
Yeah, and Tubberclair after missing about 1-2, 1-3 maybe in the last couple of minutes there. Especially from that free with the 2-pointer, every score is going to count in this game. And
that was a chance.
While they're not playing particularly well, they're still getting the chances.
It was poor defending by Milltownpass. Clear the ball out from your goal line. That's the most important thing. Up goes Finbar Kine, but he's beaten to it. And again, it's McCabe has gotten the ball and he's got it back here. Gives it out to Keegan. Paul Keegan has got on a mountain of ball here, and I've seen this young lad play minor for the last couple of years, and that's the style of play he does. He'll get on an absolute mountain of possession. Gives it on this time. That's great work by Tom Burke. Tom Burke, he's gone into a little bit of a hole there, but eventually he gets it back, and it's over to the far side of the field. It's McCabe again. He's looking for another 2-pointer. This one is going to drop short again, and Tom, we're talking about them wasting possession. That's probably 1-3 maybe that they've had a chance to score, but eventually comes back. Oisín Coogan takes it out. Good work by Tubberclair, the defence that time. I thought it was a free there. I thought he was in possession or going down for possession of the ball. Eventually it works its way out, and who comes out with it? Gavin Glennon.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with his arm there.
Hard road, Tom.
There was nothing wrong with his arm there.
No.
Coming out with that ball. Well done.
He puts his head in where he puts his hand in where you wouldn't put your head. ball into the forward line. Again, it's more direct from Milltownpass. Is there a chance now? Kelly. He tries to pick it up single-handedly, but eventually he does get it into his hand. McGonigal had the chance, but Brandon Kelly has knocked it up over the bar. His second. 4 points to 2 in favour of Milltownpass after 13 minutes.
Yeah, that was a big test for Stephen McGonigal, going up high with the ball there, let it drop there. He's just a little bit spooked by Brandon Kelly at the moment.
Ball out to the centre, nicely knocked down. Referee's blown for free. The Tubberclair bench are going crazy here, and
they've every right to be. That would have been their third.
I kind of agree with the Tubberclair bench here this time, and we don't like giving out our referees, but
that would have been their third midfield battle to win in a row there. So I would be a little bit. They're on top a little bit in midfield. Tubberclair.
Duncan now gets it out over to this side to Paul O'Reilly. Little bit of space here for Emmett Brennan. Emmett looks up. Again, they're looking for that forward line, but that's gone over the head of brother Liam. They've tried a couple of those long balls. It worked a couple of times for them, but it's also failed on a couple of occasions as well. Paul Keaton gets it into Whittaker. Whittaker looks like he's fouled, and Whittaker is unceremoniously dragged to the ground there, in my opinion. And
seems to be down injured, which is a bad sign for Tubberclair. You don't want to see that man down.
No, and he has been a type of player that has been struggling constantly with injury, Tom. He's just had such a bad run of it. Need a football here. Gary Connaughton. No better man to kick a ball 40 or 50 yards. He's had to driving a boot across that one. But it's going to be a free into Tubberclair, midway between the 45 and the 65.
Good to see Matthew Whittaker up. He's okay.
It comes onto this side. Tom Keller. He's got another man that has gone in a wrong position. That's a dangerous ball into Gavin Delaney. Delaney does well to even hold on to that one. Eventually gets it back, and again, a little bit of shenanigans going on here that's creeping in, Tom, off the ball. And
there's a free in because of that.
And that's just silly, Tom. You know, they're coach killers. You know, you're giving away scores here.
There's an opportunity now for
Paul
McCabe to take a 2-pointer.
Outside the D as well.
Incidentally, just before that last kick, he asked for a change of the ball, so hopefully it works for him.
Davy Martin patrolling the sidelines down alongside you, man you know very, very well, Tom. Played for years. That's a nice swing of a ball, and that's a beautiful score.
Brilliant score there by Eoin McCabe. He took two shots for two-pointers, missed them, but when you have a boot like that, you keep your confidence up, and that was a great score.
It's like everything else, Tom. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And we're level here in TG Cusick Park, 4 points apiece. First quarter's over. We're 16 minutes into the game here. It's been developing into a rip-roaring. It's end-to-end stuff. It's Tubberclair have been dominant here probably for the last 5 or 6 minutes, and they've got right back into this game. Brandon Kelly now, a long way out from his full forward position. Kelly looks up. Doesn't see a whole lot in front of him, but he retains possession. Eventually gets it back. Noel O'Reilly. Again, a lot of lateral movement and not a whole lot of forward play. Gives it to Gavin Glennon. Gavin looks up. Sees that Mickey McCormack is still there. Mickey turns around. He was going to pass it back and decides, you know what? We might be better off going forward. Gives it to defender. Back to Mickey. McCormack now. Looks up and sees there's a player. Liam Gorman is standing there. Kelly is on the edge of the D. On the edge of the 45. Looks up and sees that Gavin Glennon is there. Glennon sees nothing in front of him. Only a wall of green and gold, unfortunately. There's not a whole lot of movement in that Milltownpass full corner forward line, or full forward line.
Yeah, and Mickey McCormack went through well there. He continued to run.
And he had nothing there.
He had a right to kick the ball himself, go for his own score there that time, and it just led to this. A little bit of a stalemate then.
Again, looking up to see what's available, and again, there's not a whole lot to him. Gets it into Liam Gorman. Emmett looks up. He's looking for brother. Again, that's Liam Brennan is never going to get that. He's fouled in the process, and that's a little bit of frustration on Emmett or Liam Brennan's part that time, Tom, and I don't blame him because a couple of balls that have come into him have just don't suit him.
Yeah, but both teams, when the game slows up, they're putting one guy in, extra guy in front of the full forward, which is
the +1, and that's what they call
+1,
Fred
which
Kenner
is causing that.
Gets it out to Taylor Slevin. Slevin looks up and sees that Owen McCabe is free. Gives it into the corner forward. That's out into the wing back. That's Matthew Whittaker. Gets the print of Keller. Keller looks up. Keller has thrown that ball over his shoulder. Mickey Dan couldn't have been any closer to that. And again, chances spurned by Tubberclair. They're probably playing the better football at the moment, Tom. But it's still level, you devils, even you demons, at 4 points apiece here after almost 19 minutes of the game here.
Yeah, both managers, David Martin will be very happy with the start for Milltownpass, especially coming up against the form team Tubberclair. They're right in the game, and they're defensively set up nicely, and their forward line are kicking a couple of scores. It's just keeping that pace and the ball going forward.
Finbar Coyne is fouled, and it's going to go back for that foul. Be interesting to see who takes it. Probably Finbar going to take this himself, is he? No.
Yeah, it's just a chance for a 2-pointer now.
Yeah, and again, if we're talking about Owen McCabe on one side, Finbar Coyne certainly has the distance and certainly has the boot on him to pop this one. It's been interesting, Tom, without being overly exciting, but it's been very, very interesting. And the setup from both sides has been superb, I have to say. Finbar swings at it, but I'm afraid Finbar has kicked the first wide of the game.
Yeah, he had the distance. He had the distance. Just on the kickouts, Tubberclair are just shading the kick-out battle at the moment. Just interesting to see which way this one goes.
Kevin Fagan looks up. That's a beautiful ball. Gavin Delaney named it 15, but again, Tom, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this over this game. Numbers on the back mean absolutely zero here.
No, and that's a guy you want out midfield for the kickouts, especially a big man.
And he's a good fielder of the ball as well. Gives it back to Tom Keller. Gets it over onto the far side of the field now. Tubberclair building and building again. McCabe, Owen McCabe now. Gets it into it. Delaney gets in the hands on another ball, and he has been virtually everywhere around this pitch today. Over onto the far side of the field. James Mann gives it back into McCabe. McCabe has... There's no doubt that Matthew Whittaker's jersey was absolutely almost tugged off him there, but he's still going. Matthew Whittaker with a chance now, clips it well and clips it up and over the bar. And, you know, form is temporary, but class is permanent, Tom. And,
yeah,
you know, and give him enough space, and he waited and waited, and McCabe waited him to come off the shoulder, and a beautiful score for Matthew Whittaker to take the lead. First time I think Tubberclair have been in the lead. 5-4 here to Tubberclair after 21 minutes.
A nice tactic with Matthew Whittaker that they're holding him out, getting him come onto the ball at pace and breaking that line, and he's well able to kick the ball over the bar. Be interesting to see if they can get ball to him. He is not being stopped at the moment by Milltownpass.
Fred Keller gets it out over onto this side into Finn Duffy. First time I've mentioned Finn Duffy's name, I think, in the whole game, Tom.
Yeah, he was on the under-21B All-Ireland winning team. Good player.
And a really good player. I'd like to see him possibly in a more attacking position. But Tubberclair, I just feel Milltownpass are sitting back a little bit too much here, Tom. They're inviting Tubberclair to come on to him, and I'm not so sure that that's a good plan. Tom Kelleher now gets it out over to the far side. Chance here, but I'm afraid that's gone to the left there off the Tom Burke.
They'll disagree with you a small bit there, Milltownpass and Sen. They just kind of probably coming from Section B, winning the quarterfinal.
Perhaps, yeah.
Stay in the game.
Yeah,
that's their idea.
Perhaps,
just stay in the game. They're only a point down with 22 minutes gone.
And haven't really got going
but
themselves.
you do feel, though, Paul, that Tubberclair have kind of figured them out a small bit over the last 5 minutes of the game there. And
ball right down the centre, into the hands of Duncan. And again, it's Tubberclair winning an awful lot of dirty ball. Big Duffy now takes it on. He has a bit of space here, has he? He's going to have a go off his right foot. And that's a beautiful score from Finn Duffy. And
yeah,
nothing was showing for him, Tom, so he says, you know what? You don't want to come to me. Mohammed won't come to the mountain. We'll bring the...
Just with 22 minutes gone, I think Tubberclair have just slightly figured out Milltownpass a small bit there. They're winning the midfield battle, and they're getting more and more confidence going forward, moving the ball a little bit quicker. It's a better last 5-10 minutes from Tubberclair than it was in the early part.
6 points to 4 in favour of Tubberclair. We're 23 minutes into the game in TEG Park Keysog here. It's been an interesting game so far again, but this one is won by Sam Duncan at the centre of the field. Gives it out to Glennon. Glennon now bearing down a goal. He's looking for Kelly. Indeed, it's not. It's Emmett Brennan. It's going to be. It's given as a free out. I thought that was a late challenge there on Gavin.
Yeah, I thought he deserved a free in there, to be honest.
Definitely something there, but eventually it comes out. Matthew Whitaker doesn't stand on ceremony. He's got it right back into that forward line. Keelan Connell now gets it out to Paul Keegan. Keegan looks up and sees Whitaker coming through. Whitaker coming through at pace, and Whitaker slits it right into the back of the net. And Tom,
that's
from a position where Milltownpass were on the attack, Tubberclair just come right down the field. The right man, get the shooter on the ball. And as you said, Matthew Whitaker playing in that little bit more withdrawn role. He's attacking at will, and that's a super finish and a great goal for Tubberclair.
Yeah, it's a bit of a genius move by Tubberclair, playing him there. When he gets the ball, as the game kind of quietens down a little bit, he'll get more and more spaces there, and that was an excellent run, excellent finish.
Milltownpass, they need to fill up now coming up to half time. It's 1-6, that's 9 to Tubberclair, 4 points to Milltownpass. It's a free in. Need a score, Tom, and I think they're going to need it fairly quickly. They don't want to let this run away from them too early. It's a 5-point lead. It's a considerable lead, particularly in intermediate football, but we've seen games turn in quicker time than that. Sam Duncan again is lateral. Brandon Kelly is almost playing as a half forward here today, Tom, and personally I would just like to see him closer to the goal. Again, a pass into
Tubberclair
it was a pass into a player that was 3 men around him.
They've just slowed up their play a small bit. They're running out of ideas a small bit when they get to that 50-yard line. They need to keep moving at that pace, trying to get Finbar Coyne a little bit more on the ball. But as you can see, Tubberclair moving up the field. They've figured out Milltownpass a small bit, and it would be no surprise to see Matthew Whitaker on the end of one of these footballs coming up here.
Ball over on the far side, Tom. James Madden still in possession of Tubberclair, holding on to possession and doing well with that possession. Paul Keegan has it now, gives it back. Again, looking for the shooter at all times. Eventually comes to Whitaker. Whitaker calls and turns Milltownpass off in trouble here. They just cannot pin him down is the major problem here for him. Eventually it's gone, and that's over. Carrying good call by the referee.
Yeah, it was a good referee in there now.
Great call by the referee. Milltownpass need to move it a little bit quicker. Gavin Glennon now gets it out, and he's taken out of it completely off the ball there.
Gavin Glennon is getting some punishment off the ball.
Nice ball in. Kelly now. Brandon has a chance. Chips it across the goal. Who's going to get to it? Is there a chance here for Finbar Coyne? Finbar Coyne! Oh! Out of absolutely nothing, Tom.
Yeah, and I would say that was Gavin Glennon scored the Hartrepies after getting out to midfield in the last couple of minutes. He delivered the ball, but a great ball in from Brandon Kelly, and the right man at the right time, Finbar Coyne. Super finish.
That's a really good finish, and just when we wanted something to liven up this game, there's one that has livened up this game. Kelly not playing, probably he should have been the man that was in getting possession of that ball instead of giving the ball in, but that was a wonderful ball across the square. Finbar Coyne did well, took his time, picked his spot and slotted into the back of the Kevin Fagan's net, and it's back on. Game on here. 1-4, 7 points to Milltownpass. 1-6, that's 9 to Tubberclair. We're 27 minutes almost played in the first half here, and we're getting a bit of a game, Tom, now it's becoming a battle.
Yeah, as we said, it would be early doors, it would be just feeling each other out, but now the game is beginning to open up a bit, and that's what's great with the new rules.
Mickey McCormick goes out for Mickey McCormick is fouled, but it was a rather poor ball, I have to say, from Finbar Coyne. I don't know, was he attempting for a score, but if he was, it's with a long way away. Tom Kelleher now. Tom looks up and sees that there's a player. That player is Owen McCabe, as has been on many occasions so far in this first half. Kelleher looks up and sees over on the far side there's a player free over there. James Madden gets it back. It's into Stephen McGonigal. McGonigal playing more as a defensive player today. He's not making the attacking runs that we normally see from him, and that's because he's trying to keep handle on Brandon Kelly, who has been outstanding so far for Milltownpass. Perhaps in a more withdrawn role, but chance now. Tubberclair come back on the attack again. Ball, Darrell O'Connor, he's looking for the forward line. Is he going to get it into it? He does well. It's the full back, it's Cahill Dye comes forward to it. Tom Kelleher now. Tom Kelleher, that's a penalty, Tom. No question, Tom. Can't argue with that one. Milltownpass can't even argue with that one. He was just about to fire, and you know what? I think he was actually off balance, going to ready to fire into the back of the net. I'm not quite sure he would have what he would have done with it, but he was unceremoniously taken out of it by Liam O'Reilly that time. And
yeah, it was a stonewall penalty. But if you're forward, he was kind of maybe playing for it as well. He did well, got his penalty. But again, good play from Finn Duffy inside. Won his ball, slipped it off, moved it quickly at pace inside there. And now a chance for Tubberclair to get their second goal in what, 3 minutes.
It's Fred Keller who's going to step up for the penalty. I've seen this young lad play soccer. Oh, that's as cool as you like.
Yeah.
What a beautiful strike of a ball into the back of the net. And just when we thought Milltownpass were coming back into this game, Tubberclair comes straight back down the field and get a second goal. 2-6, that's 12. 2 Tubberclair, 1-4, that's 7. 5 points of a difference here. We're into the last minute of normal time. We'll be interested to see what's additional time here. I wouldn't think there'd be a whole lot of time. There wasn't a whole lot of stoppages in the game. But again, it's that dirty ball around the centre of the field that Tubberclair are winning time after again. And the man that's invariably getting on it is Tom Burke. And Tom Burke has done well. It's back over to the far side. He's looking for Keelan Connell. Keelan Connell grabs it. Gets it into the paw. Whittaker now. He's a little bit isolated there. Eventually gets it into Fred Keller. Fred Keller bearing down on goal again, and Fred Keller does the simple thing, and Fred Keller knocks it up and over the bar. Lovely score.
Yeah, Tubberclair over the last...
Nice little finish to the half from Tubberclair, Tom.
Tubberclair since the 16th minute have began to open up and play some lovely football. They're getting their star players on the ball. Nobody's too selfish on the ball, holding on to it, but they're well coached. And Milltownpass are under pressure now. They need to get a couple of scores before half time.
I'm not quite sure what Tubberclair were complaining about. They're saying he was inside. I don't think he was, actually, to be honest with you. Ball out over to the far side. Gavin Glennon with a wild pass, and they're going to need another 1 minute additional time. That's a high ball in. He's looking for Finbar. Finbar gets it into the breadbasket. Finbar, he has 3 Tubberclair men around him. It's going to be a free in.
I think he had a mark there anyway. I'm not too sure, but I think he had a mark.
I just think it was a great catch. And
yeah.
Tubberclair, I don't think it.
And again, I go back to Milltownpass. They just need to stay in the game up until half time.
Yeah,
15 minutes to go, they still need to be in it.
I agree with you, yeah. Just keep knocking over a few scores, like.
Because Tubberclair, I know Milltownpass have been scoring heavily goals, but Tubberclair have been scoring heavily goals up at Section A. So you'd expect them to be around about where they are right now. Milltownpass 1-4. They'd like that average a little bit up.
Yellow card for Brandon Kelly there, whatever he said off the ball, but Brandon Kelly looks to have got a yellow card there, and it's obviously for comments to the referee. And Finbar Coyne has kicked a 14-yard free and put it wide. And Tom, you just can't do that at this level. You can't do it at any level. That's a very
nightmare scenario for Milltownpass now going in at half time. Just a little bit of deflation. It's going to be a tough 15 minutes for David Martin in at half time there. Tubberclair started the game probably on the back foot, but over since I said about the 16 minutes, they kind of figured Milltownpass out a little bit. It's been all Tubberclair really since that time, and Milltownpass now have to pick themselves up after that major blow. That's a major blow before half time. That psychologically, that's a major blow. And
it's the centre of the field battle that we thought, Tom, would be a battle. It's really been dominated so far by Tubberclair. They have won most of the breaking ball. They've won most of the dirty ball. Milltownpass are really struggling in that middle third. Yeah,
Tubberclair are getting on the brakes a little bit quicker. They're winning that midfield battle. They were a little bit slow in their play in the early part of the game, but they've opened up a little bit now. I'd just be worried for Milltownpass. 1-4 scored. While they were 4 points to 4 points, they got back with a lovely goal by Finbar Coyne there. He's missed that chance there. They probably could have tagged on another couple of scores as well. A little bit slower in their build-up. But an interesting... Ponder. It's not over yet. It's just a little bit of work for Dave Martin at half-time. But Keith Higgins and Daniel Salmon will be delighted. Matthew Whittaker is playing very well. Finn Duffy's playing well. Fred Keller has 1-1 in the last couple of minutes there. Their midfield is playing well. And Stephen McGonigal, while he's just on the edge of losing that battle with Brandon Kelly, he's still doing enough just to keep him at bay.
But it's given the likes of Cahill Ty and Taylor Slevin carte blanche almost to go forward, and they're taking that with open arms.
Yeah, Cahill Ty, good experienced player, and Cahill Ty, I think, was the manager with Goldsmith Girls when they won the junior last year, took the year off. and they were after getting the intermediate title. So kudos to him for bringing that team on, and he's still able to swing it out with the. Well, as people know, I'm very well into the LGFA, and Maryland involved with Goldsmith Girls. Why wouldn't it be?
That's right, absolutely. It's half time here, so in TEG Cusick Park in the Shay Murtagh Precast Intermediate Football Championship semi-final. It's Tubberclair that lead 2-7. That's 13 points to 1-4 to Milltownpass. That's 7. It's double scores here in the park. Do stay with us. We'll be back with you for the second half. We're going to take a little break. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's a double header near VTV this afternoon, because following this game we have the Senior Football Championship semi-final between St. Lomans, Mullingar and Coralstown, Kinnegad. We're going to take a little break. Be back with you very, very shortly.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to TEG Cusick Park for this afternoon. Shay, Murtagh Precast Intermediate Football Championship semi-final between Tubberclair and Milltownpass. Milltownpass back out early for the start of the second half, and Tom Brown is with me here. I'd say there's not a stitch of paint left on the wall of that Milltownpass dressing room, because they know they can play a little bit better than they've played in this first half.
Yeah, it's a big 10 minutes for Milltownpass now. Their season is on the line, obviously, but like the first 20 minutes of that game, they would have been contented. It's just the last 10 minutes, conceding a couple of goals, the penalty there, and just losing their way a small bit. Now, obviously that's credit to Tubberclair, but if you're looking at it from Milltownpass, who are very early back out on the pitch, they're eager, ready to go. Tubberclair probably are in the dressing room now, just going through their strategy for the second half and tactics, and they're in there happy enough at half time. It's just all in this next 10 minutes what way this game is going to go, I feel.
Yeah, and I think the first score here in the second half is going to be pivotal, if I'm honest. I think it's going to make a huge difference, whoever gets the first score in this second half. And Milltownpass will have to start a little bit brighter. They're going to have to start. The forward line hasn't really fired as such yet. And, we're lauding them here earlier on. And, at times, they just haven't gotten enough possession. The pass is going astray. Credit due to Tubberclair, in fairness, for the defending, but Milltownpass will know that they can play a little bit better than they've played.
They can play a little bit better, yeah. But if I was Tubberclair, we've seen in the early part of the first half there where McCabe went for a couple of 2-pointers, missed them. If they can set up some sort of a structure strategy for him to have an attempt at a couple of 2-pointers early in this second half, it could put this game to bed. On the other hand, Milltownpass need to get a grip of midfield a little bit better than they did in the first half.
Well, that middle third in general. I don't see any changes. I'm just looking out there. Jerry Buckley is here beside us, and I'm sure he would have capped him. I don't see any changes to either side at the start of this second half. I think it's as is. The both teams are out. Referee is just going to the centre of the field. Gavin Delaney looks like he's going to go for the throw-in.
I see 3 guys from Milltownpass warming up all right, but nobody for Tubberclair at the moment.
And I wouldn't think Tubberclair are going to change anything. If it's not broke, don't fix it. At the moment, anyway, Milltownpass, possibly they're considering what they have on the bench, and we look at their bench. There's a few really decent players on there. It'd be interesting to see. The ever-present Andy Devine is there. Is this a game for Andy maybe to pull it out of the fire? Chance now for Milltownpass. Emmett Brennan, he's surrounded by Tubberclair players, and he's fouled. Of the soft variety, Tom, shall we say?
Yeah.
Ball into the corner. That's gone and off the ground. And again, it's
the second
just
time.
Those simple mistakes.
That's the second time he's got pulled for that, and a little bit of dissent now.
Yeah, and that's
given the opportunity,
silliness.
2-pointer.
And there's no question that Mickey Murtagh was absolutely bang on there. That was, there was grasshoppers on the ball. It was that close to the grass. Cathal tie now. He's had a really good game so far. Gives it over to the far side of the field. That's Tom Burke. Burke now. Jinx pass 1, Jinx pass 2. Gets it into his midfield partner. Darrell O'Connor strikes it off the right foot, but it's gone. It's gone to the left and wide. It's only the 4th wide, in fairness to Tubberclair. They've kicked a couple into the goalie's hands, Tom Overall, but they've been fairly clinical in their use of possession so far.
Interesting to see where this kick out goes now.
They're looking for Finn Barkine or Sam Duncan every time, and this one has gone right out over to the far side. It's gone out to Sam Duncan. Duncan doesn't get it, but it's grabbed by Liam O'Reilly, or Noel O'Reilly, I beg your pardon. Noel O'Reilly gets it in to his full forward. That's Brandon Kelly. Kelly now takes a turn. Kelly strikes it off the right foot. That's a beautiful score for Brandon
that's
Kelly.
exactly what Milltownpass would have wanted. Winning the battle of midfield, winning the breaking ball, getting
but
it into
also need
Brandon
Brandon Kelly getting the ball closer to goal top as well.
As the win ball in midfield, they'll be able to do that because they'll give them the platform. But that was the first step then. That was a good start to the second half for Milltownpass, getting the first score.
Very, very important. 1-5 to Milltownpass. That's 8. 2-7 to Tubberclair. That's 13. We're just into the second minute of the second half here. Good work by Noel O'Reilly. Noel O'Reilly skips past 1, goes past 2. Noel O'Reilly is abandoned here.
Yeah, and again winning the kick out. Good play
and
from
there's
Noel
the
O'Reilly
difference,
there.
Tom. If you get that primary possession at the centre of the field, There's a lot to be said for it now. Emmett Brennan. Oh, and he's tugged it and tugged it. Liam Brennan, actually, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, Milltownpass need everything going. They need to be more accurate on the ball to keep close to Tubberclair. They are winning midfield though at the moment, which is good. They just need to keep a little bit more of a purple patch
They need
going
more
forward.
out of that forward line, Tom. We lauded them at the start of the game and the wonderful championship they've had, but they just haven't really set fire to anything so far this game. And right down through the centre. That's a great jump leap by Finbar Coyne that time, but he doesn't get it centre. Sam Duncan, that's a foul on the ground. This time it goes in favour of Milltownpass. They're trying to take it quickly here. Emmett Brennan has it in his hands. Sam Duncan climbed into the clouds that time, and lovely to see him back on the field here in Westmeath. High ball in, looking for Finbar. Finbar is not going to make that because that's grabbed superbly by Steve McGonigal, and he has got to measure Brandon Kelly to a certain extent, and
yeah, he's
that's one of the
tidying
reasons.
He's have to tidying up a little bit there, and he's a very good player. He's
Really
a very good player. It's just that's a testament when he's been able to go up and catch the ball like that. Means that he's on form, back in his game, and that'll be a little bit of a dagger to the heart of Brandon Kelly, not testing that ball and not winning it either.
Whittaker takes off. He's gone past halfway. Whittaker bearing down. He's gone past the 45. Whittaker, it's opening up in front of him. Matthew Whittaker looks up and sees a man. There's a man free over the far side. Oh!
Very
it's
good
a save,
goal.
Rory Coyne, in fairness, though.
Very good goalkeeping there. He got quickly out to the marker. He knew the ball was going to be swept over. Probably a little bit too close to the keeper there, receiving the ball, Keelan Conlon, but it was a good save. If that went
maybe
in,
a sidestep.
He received the ball too close.
Substitution here. Milltownpass haven't waited too long at the start of the second half. Their number 17 is on. That's Alan Farrell. Be interesting to see who he's going on to replace. But Alan Farrell is coming into the play here. Don't know who's going off. I haven't seen anybody.
Paul O'Reilly, I think, is going off.
Paul O'Reilly.
Is a plate by number 17, Alan Farrell.
Taylor Slevin has taken the 45. Tom, I'm a long time watching Taylor Slevin. I don't remember seeing him kicking a dead ball. I'm nearly sure that's Taylor Slevin, isn't it? It is, yeah. Strikes it well and strikes it up and over the bar.
You're going to be seeing him kicking a lot more after that.
I might see a few more of them, all right now, yeah.
Kevin Fagan took the first one in the first half and he missed it, and that was the second chance they got for a big score like that.
I just don't think I've ever seen Taylor Slevin kick a dead ball. It's gone over the bar. That's all that matters. 1-5 to Milltownpass, but it's 2-8 to Tubberclair. They still retain their half-time 6-point lead. Ball out over to this side of the field. A little bit better work from Milltownpass this time, but again, Tubberclair are up into their faces, and Tubberclair have turned it over a little bit too easily, in my opinion. Eventually comes back to Mickey McCormack. Mickey McCormack looks up to see there's a player there, but again, look at the amount of Tubberclair players that's around the ball.
Great tackle there from Fred Keller that led to that. They're putting a little bit more pressure on Milltownpass coming off with the ball now.
It's the substitution, Alan Farr, that has it. He's allowing play on, so no, he's not. He's pulling it back. So Sam Duncan now. Sam gets it over onto this side of the field. Tony Loftus. Tony looks up and sees that Liam Brennan is free. Gives it over onto the far side. Davin Coogan. Pushing Coogan. Brennan again. That's a high ball. It's well gathered by Kelly there. He wasn't in the prime of Kelly bearing down and going. Kelly has it out on the left foot. Kelly kicks it off the left foot, and Kelly pops it up and over the bar.
Yeah, good score there from Brandon Kelly. He's having a good game, even though he's having
4
a good
points.
battle. Yeah, he's having a good game. He's doing his best, getting the ball into him quickly.
It wasn't the greatest ball in him, but
Yeah.
he made great work of it. 1-6 to Milltownpass, 2-8 to Tubberclair. We're 6.5 minutes into the second half here already here in TEG Cusick Park. And
if I was Milltownpass, I'd be looking to get the ball as quickly into him
as possible.
Because he's on form.
Could not agree with you more, Tom. Great work by Gavin Glennon. He's looked to gone from his midfield. Gets it into Liam Brennan. Brennan has Brandon Kelly off his shoulder. Kelly is fouled, and that's surely a black card, Tom.
Yeah, a good bit of
surely
skill
what they were
there.
brought in for, but
Again, Milltownpass, since we kind of wrote them off a small bit there, they're actually coming into the game a little bit more there. And this is a big free now for Finbar Coyne.
well, I hope it's a little bit better than the one at the end of the first half, Tom, because chance now, pull another one back. Finbar strikes it well and strikes it over the
good
bar.
score.
That's better. That's better. That's what
I'm
they
delighted
need.
for him because he's a great player, and you don't like to see that in a player.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Started
And it's very disheartening
at the end
on
of
a
the
team,
first half,
on a team and a player substitution coming in now.
And all of a sudden, there's 4 points. They're creeping back into the game. This game's not over yet, Paul.
Yeah, the number 29 is actually listed here as Shane Whelan, but it's not. It's David Manning is wearing the number 29 jersey. David Manning is on for Milltownpass.
And the 2 cornerbacks are gone now. Garrett O'Connor and Paul O'Reilly have been called ashore there in the last couple of minutes. Paul O'Reilly, or Garrett O'Connor, sorry, is coming off now.
Number 2, Garrett O'Connor, replaced by number 29, David Manning.
Yeah, that's the 2 corner forwards replaced for Milltownpass. But they've come right back into this game, 1-7 to 2-8. There's only 4 in it, Tom, and what a goal would do for Milltownpass at this stage. But they're not going to get it over that side because it's a free in. Foul and Matthew Whitaker there. It's over on the far side of the field now. Gavin Delaney ships it on immediately to Madden. Madden is surrounded by Milltownpass players, and they've done very well to extricate themselves, but they just can't get their hands on the ball. Unfortunately, it's come back to Owen McCabe. Owen McCabe looks up and sees that there's a player off his shoulder. Is he going to make it? No, that's good work. Good work by Liam Brennan there. Brandon Carey now. Carey, he's a long way out, but he has pace and pace to burn. Carey, he's taken on McGonigal. He's gone past McGonigal. Brandon Carey has the hand up. He's looking for a free. He's not going to get it by the looks of things because that's gone right across the goal. And
I don't know how he didn't get it.
I have to say, I
absolutely.
I agree with you there, Tom. I think that was an absolute certain of a free. His arm was tugged. There's no question about it. To me, it looked like it to me anyway at that time, and he had the hand up. But you still have to keep playing, Tom.
Correct.
Into Slevin. Slevin gets it back. Eventually, Matthew Whitaker now. Ball over onto this side of the field. Tubberclair back on the attack now. Tom Kelleher going down along in front of us. Shifts it on. That's a very late tackle. Carl Ty has it. That was late, Tom. He's going back with the yellow card. And
yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he's calling this now. It'd be interesting to see what it is. Whether it's a...
Oh, Mickey Dan decides it's a
black card.
It's a black card. So for 10 minutes they're going to be down to 14 players, and you know, Tom, at this juncture of the game, and it's Finbar Coyne that's got the black card.
Yeah, that's a massive blow for Milltownpass. There was a few late hits on Gavin Glennon in the first half. That wasn't seen. That one was seen because it was right in front of the stand. A little bit silly there by Sam Duncan.
Sam Duncan.
And that's a massive loss.
I beg your pardon, it's Sam Duncan. Sorry, I'd say Finbar Coyne, but it's Sam Duncan that's gone on. And 10 minutes with 14 men, you're trailing by 4. It's the last thing you wanted to happen to you, Tom, and it was just very silly.
The problem with it was right in front of the stand
exactly.
here, and you got the roar of the crowd.
And the referee,
it was further out in the field. It might have been as obvious.
Yeah, a couple of them possibly could have gone the opposite way in the first half, but it's gone through. Fred Kelleher coming through now. Fred, is he going to go for it? No, he's kicked it, but he's put it wide.
Yeah, that's a bad miss. Very good play, but a bad miss. They needed that score.
Yeah,
Fred will be disappointed with that.
The longer Milltownpass stay in this game, Tom, they're going to fight to the bitter end here, even with 14 men. You know, you got to be chipping away at that score.
When in double score, 6 points down, they're coming up to the 15-minute line. There's 4 points in it. A couple of 2-pointers and right back in this game.
Yeah.
Tubberclair really need to make hay now once they have the new numerical advantage.
Yeah. Matthew Whitaker now looks up and sees there's a man free, gets it back. Whitaker bearing down a goal. Is it going to be a third goal? Ah! What a beautiful goal by Matthew Whitaker. Created and finished by probably the best player on the pitch at the moment. That is an absolutely super goal.
Absolutely brilliant goal. But the way he glides with the ball through defenders,
it's poetry in motion.
It's absolutely brilliant playing. Delighted to see him back from his injury. And that's a second goal, fantastic with his left foot. And now it's really an uphill struggle for Milltownpass.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, you were safe to go back in the woods. But hold on, Liam Brennan looks up and sees Brandon Carey is there, but Liam Brennan is dispossessed. He's dispossessed because he was being fouled at the time, and I think Milltownpass should take the score, keep that scoreboard ticking over. I know they're trailing, Tom, but they've really got to keep that scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, with the 2-pointers now, you're still not really out of it if you can get a couple of those in a row.
Absolutely.
Keep the scoreboard taking over and get Finbar Coyne on into a 2-point shooting lane.
Finbar scores another one there.
But it'd be interesting now, this kick out with Sam Duncan off the field. What way Tubberclair are going to approach the kick out? Are they going to go for a long ball?
They seem to be varying it.
Are they gonna
Kevin
use the
Fagan is
spare man?
varying his kickouts far more than Rory. Rory kind of seems to be going down the centre the whole time, whereas Kevin Fagan seems to be spraying it left, right, short. There's a lot of different
Yeah,
movements in it.
he went long that time, they lost it, and then they gave it back.
That's just a killer of a turnover. Tubberclair back on the attack again. Again, it comes into Whittaker. Whittaker is buffeted, but he still gets it, and he's going to get a free for what the free is for. I have absolutely no idea now. Eventually coming back, and the referee's gone back for the free. It's gone over the bar, but it's not going to be allowed because Murtagh has pointed for a free over in the far side. And Tom, I have to say, I don't know what that free is for.
I think he gave advantage for an earlier.
Possibly, yeah. And this time another
This is
change
a
of free
this is a 2-point chance now.
another change of free taker. It's
Yeah.
Old McCabe looks like he's going to take this one, and this one definitely could be a.
This is a big
nail.
kick for the game. This is a big
Absolutely.
kick.
Nice strike. Is it tailing off though? It's not. It's gone over the bar.
Yeah,
Another 2-point free from Old McCabe, and that's his second one, Tom.
yeah,
His
see-
third 2-pointer in total.
Yeah, Pat O'Brien there, the umpire, gave a nice little nod to his opposition. That's a good 2-pointer.
And all of a sudden, that gap has developed out to the 7 points again, Tom.
Yeah, well, a 2-pointer like that is nearly like a goal at this stage of the game, especially when you're trailing.
Ian Brennan is trying to get to it, can't make it, can't get it the first time, but eventually gets it up into his hand. Does well to hold on to that ball and eventually wins a free. There's a man free over on this side, that's another. Oh, it's Emmett Brennan, and Emmett Brennan never even looked up to see that there was a man in front of him there. And
Yeah,
again,
Milltownpass have just lost their way a little bit in the
They
last
have,
couple of minutes. Tubberclair are just getting more and more confidence
They've
into
lost
the
a bit
game.
of composure there. Ball into the forward line, but Gavin Glennon is there. He's gone back in as fullback now. He's played in virtually every position on the field, I think, at this stage, but he's gone back into fullback. Eventually comes down to Finbar now. Finbar looks up and sees there's a man free. That man is Oisin Coogan. Coogan looks up. It's going to come back for a free no matter what happens here, but Oisin Coogan does. He's continuing on. Michael McCormick has it, but it's going to go back from Finbar. It's probably a little bit out of his range, but he steps forward a little bit, kicks it high. But I'm afraid it's not. It's handsome. He's not giving it. And Tom Deers, I cannot understand for the life of me, dear. He played the advantage as far as I could see and knocks it over the bar.
I think the problem was Finbar tapped it in goal and then kicked. I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Another substitution here. It's Emmett Brennan that's coming off, and coming on in his stead is the number 19. That's Shane Cochran.
The
Shane,
ball,
come
the
on,
ball
Dennis.
went over the bar too, which is a great score from about 55, 60 yards out.
Yeah.
Can he do it again?
I
They're
think
going to
he-
need a couple of 2-pointers from
yeah,
Finbar.
at least. If not a goal, definitely a couple of 2-pointers.
Is replaced by number 19, Shane Corker.
Shane Cochran's first interaction in the game. He gets on that ball straight away. Back it comes to Finbar. Cochran now, he's a long way out. Cochran decides, when I'm going to have a lash, and that's exactly what it is. It's an absolute lash of the ball. And Taylor Slevin will mop those up day in, day out, 24 hours a day. And again, no direction from. They've lost composure a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, they've not.
That's well done, though. Nolan Riley does extremely well, gets it back into it. Chance now. Milltownpass, can they get a score? Emmett Brennan gets it into Brandon. Brandon does well to keep it in play. Brandon's looking for the goal. Jinx passes, but I'm afraid he hopped it twice. It's going to be a free out. And
Yeah, he probably had to go
a
for
little bit
goal.
of frustration on Brandon Kelly's part.
Probably
that
had to
time.
go for a goal there. He was trying to force it a little bit too much.
I think take the score, Tom. Ball over onto this side of the field. And
The last couple of attacks from Tubberclair, they have given the ball away. Silly. If you can just keep the composure a small bit, just kill the game a little bit.
Milltownpass, I mean.
No, Tubberclair actually. Milltownpass as well when they've got the ball.
Yeah. Whittaker still has the ball, and he has been exceptional this afternoon for Tubberclair. He scored 2-1 and has been at the centre of most good things that Tubberclair have done.
The
over
buzz
the
has gone out of
47
the game a
minutes.
small bit.
It has a bit. That third goal has kind of taken it, and the fact that Milltownpass are down to 14 as well. They're chance now for Burke. Strikes it off the outside. They're lovely when they go over. They look very poor when they go wide now. First substitution for Tubberclair. Oisin O'Mara, that's what happens when you kick a ball wide. You're brought off straight away. And Oisin O'Mara, of course, we've known him for the last couple of years, Tom. He has been an exceptional player, whether starting or coming on as a substitution.
Yeah, Oisin O'Mara, a good player. Guy that went off, Tom Burke, is another good player. He did a good job in the first half. He's kind of sitting back in the defence. We got on a lot of ball as well. That was definitely inside that ball.
I'm going to completely disagree with you. I thought he was at least 2 foot outside it. Does well to retain possession, but again, Milltownpass struggling to keep holding their own position. Gavin Glennon now, they're going to need a good 15 minutes out of him, but just as I say that, he gives away the ball. And there's a man that has had a really, really great game for Tubberclair this afternoon, and that's Cathal Tye, the fullback, Tom. Yeah. I've been extremely impressed with him so far.
Very tidy, excellent fullback.
When it comes to McCabe, he had a great first half. He's been a bit of a peripheral figure at the start of the second half, but ball has gone out to the far side. It's going to be a free in, or free out actually, for Milltownpass. Again, Tom, that's what you get if you don't move away from the ball and you're causing any sorts of hassle to the referee. He'll just bring it up 50 yards, and that's the way it goes on. Brandon Kelly just fell at the wrong time. And
chance now for Tubberclair here. They have a man over.
Whittaker now, long ball in, searching out the full forward line. Can't get it the first time. Fred Kelleher's going to come out and pick it up though. Kelleher now, he's very close in front of our commentary position here, but it eventually comes back. Nicely retained, nicely recycled. Tubberclair they're playing out there, Tom. They're playing for time. They're in total ascendancy here. They have an 8-point lead. They don't need to go for the jugular at all. They can just play it at their ease. Eventually comes back. Whittaker now gets it over to the far side. Chance here now. That's a beautiful score.
Yeah, very patient play there, Tubberclair. Well worked score.
Beautiful score. I think it was Keelan Connell's first score of the game, actually.
What I've been most impressed about Tubberclair since I've seen them, say obviously this year, but last
year.
Actually,
Finn Duffy. Finn Duffy's second score.
Let's say this time last year, they're very much more mature, more elegant on the ball.
Composed is the word I'm thinking of.
And their back line is very, very good. I know we've been giving the props to the forward line, but their back line are very tenacious in the back line.
Sam Duncan is back on the field. That's the quickest 10 minutes ever I see now. Brandon Kelly now. Chance. Milltownpass to have to get back into this game. Kelly is unceremoniously dragged to the ground there, in my opinion. Was that inside the square? No. Perhaps Brandon Kelly is suggesting that it might be. I'm not sure it was. I think he was fouled outside, to be honest.
Yeah, I think if he's going to the...
We'll have to go to VAR for that one, Tom.
And if he does go to VAR, the defensive player
outside.
could be in bother here.
Yeah. I think that's what Mick Murtagh is suggesting. And it's Stephen McGonigal, I think, again. Kelly did well that time. He was under serious pressure, but did well to retain possession that time. And somebody's getting some sort of card, and it's certainly not a Christmas card. It's a yellow card. I'm not quite sure who it's to, but it's a yellow card. McGonigal, yeah. And I suppose he's been sailing close to the win for that yellow card for quite a while now. So Finburn.
Yeah, Brandon is getting ball. They need to keep getting the ball as quickly as possible into Brandon. He's winning that
coming off his shoulder, Tom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need somebody to step up alongside Brandon Kelly. You know, very easy to say that Brandon's going to do the work, but he does need a bit of help there. Shinkoku goes after but doesn't get it. It's Tubberclair back on the attack again. That's great work by James Madden that time. Over to the far side and again. It's simple free given away. And how many times have we said that today, Tom? Easy frees.
Yeah, and the slowing down the game will help Tubberclair now.
It's playing into Tubberclair's hands. You know, they can slow it up as much as they like now because they're totally in the ascendancy here and they lead comfortably. Matthew Whittaker now. Looks up, see there's a man. Kelleher does well to get it back to Whittaker. Whittaker now, little bit of a open road in front of him, gets it into O'Mara, the substitute that's on. Eventually Gavin Delaney. Gavin Delaney was extremely prominent in the first half time. We barely mentioned his name in the second half. He played a different role, I think, in that second half.
Yeah, but he's just going quietly about his business. He hasn't had much to do,
as most of the Tubberclair players are. Doing the simple things well. Ball into the corner.
They seem to be very comfortable on the ball in around these areas. They're looking to try plug holes in the Milltownpass defence, and one of those would be Matthew Whitaker coming onto the ball.
O'Connor now gets it into the Whitaker. Whitaker does well to retain position, but he's absolutely surrounded. That's good work by Milltownpass. They got around the shooter.
Yeah, very well done that time.
Clear though. Sam Duncan now. He's been off the field for 10 minutes. Sam, he needs to have a big last 10 minutes here. There's probably about 10 minutes left in the game. They're going to need something special off Sam for this last 10 minutes. Eventually comes into Liam Brennan. Brennan gets it out over to the far side. Kelly now. Kelly, he's outside the D. Is he going to go for the 2-pointer? He is. It's put right across the square. It's going to drop short. And it's punched across the goal. And that could have gone anywhere, Tom. It looked like Shane Corcoran got a fist to that, but there was nobody waiting for it, because probably the man that kicked it was the man that probably should have been in the position there.
Yeah, Finn Duffy's just gone down there, just got a kind of an awkward tackle.
It was an awkward tackle, Tom. I don't think there was anything malicious.
No, there was not malicious, and it was just an awkward tackle. I think he got it in the side of the rib.
The referee thinks the same because he's allowed play on. Darragh O'Connor has quietly gone about his. Another man has gone quietly across his business, and Finbar kind of sailing close to the wind here, Tom. Keelan Con. It's a very, very high challenge. That's a very high challenge.
Yeah, I think it was a high challenge, but I don't think
David Manning, I don't think it was. I think he was actually going for the ball. I don't think
it was intentional.
No, I think the ball had popped up and he thought he seen it and it did. That's a harsh red card. I'm sorry, Tom, that's a harsh red card. I don't think there was anything intentional in that whatsoever. I thought the ball was there to be won. A yellow card would have sufficed for me, if I'm honest, but David Manning didn't spend long on the field. He's gone. So now Milltownpass are down to 14. It was a high challenge.
It was a high challenge, and there is a small bit of blood coming from the player. But I don't think it was. I don't think it was intentional.
I absolutely agree with you. And again, there's something happened on the sideline. There's one of the Tubberclair officials is on the pitch. He shouldn't be on there, Tom. First of all, and he's been told by his own players to get off the pitch, and it's caused a little bit of re-raw with the Milltownpass. Again, I think that's more born out of frustration.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration creeping in from both sides, to be honest, at the moment. As you would expect with a championship game, a lot on the line for both these sides.
Yeah, and
Tubberclair though are 7 points, 8 points up. They're in the ascendancy.
They don't need to be.
Milltownpass need a couple of 2 pointers, a couple of goals if they're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, there's no point in this whatsoever.
Great chance here now from Roman McCabe. Again, another 2 pointer.
This will be his fourth. He scored 1 from play and 2 from frees, but he's actually bringing this one forward this time. And the game has fizzled out a little bit, Tom. It's a little bit tetchy in the last few minutes. That's a lovely score from McCabe.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Owen McCabe.
Yeah,
I know he has a year.
He's gone about his work.
I know he's a year in inter-county level under his belt, but he's just a little bit of maturity there. I like about
just
him.
When you think it couldn't get any worse for Milltownpass to bring on Paul Garvey, one of the stars in the job last year. Yeah, Finn Duffy can be happy enough, and he's a young man. He's learning his trade, and he stood up today as well. Another one of the unsung heroes for Tubberclair.
He's a good player, but this guy that came on, Paul Garvey, is another player for Tubberclair that I like.
Yeah, agree.
I like. If he's on form, he's very, very dangerous.
Milltownpass, they need a goal. They need it rapidly. Noel O'Reilly, he's trying his best to try and get forward there. He looks like he's moved into the forward line. Out it comes Oisin Coogan. Coogan looks up. He's looking for Finbar Kine, is it? But it's gone out for 45, and it looks like it's going to be route 1 for Milltownpass for the last 5 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes of this game, Tom. They're going to try an aerial bombardment. Is that fair to say? Almost like
yeah, I suppose Milltownpass would be. They would have been up in Section A of Intermediate last year. They would have come up against Tubberclair. They're just having to work to get up to that level. They still can make it up to that level, but I think we've all been impressed by Tubberclair over the last couple of years, and I think now is their time that they're making hay really, and especially
Liam Brennan. We're going to have to give that one to him. It's 110 to Milltownpass, but it's 3-12 to Tubberclair, an 8-point lead as we move into the last 2.5 odd minutes of normal time, but plus whatever is added on by referee Mick Murtagh. But even at this stage, Tom, you cannot see but green and gold in the final in the shape of in the shape of Tubberclair.
Yeah, and you do it. Say Milltownpass were down a man with
Yeah,
Duncan going off, and now they're down a man again. They haven't made it easy themselves.
Brandon Carey goes out for it. Brandon Carey is holding the ankle. Doesn't get to that one, and he's gone down. But it's Tubberclair. Much as they've done for a lot of it. We spoke about their forward power, Tom, but you mentioned it earlier on. Their defence has been quite good too.
Yeah. And I just see Brandon Kelly going down there. The good thing of the GA, first man over to give him a hand was Steve McGonnell.
Tubberclair, man.
Yeah, Steve McGonnell.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Back into the centre it comes. Paul Keegan gets it on. Another chance. Keegan gets it back. Keegan, is he going to get his first score of the game? No. Looks up and sees there's a man in a better position, as has happened most of the game. Owen McCabe, he's a long way out. It drops short. It's actually not gone anywhere. It's still gone out here in front of us, and Paul Garvey is going for it. Paul Garvey is going to allow it go over the sideline, and it's a sideline ball to Tubberclair. It's just a plethora of riches that Tubberclair have, Tom.
Yeah, and it's all down to the good work that they've done over the last couple of years. It takes time to get these boys, especially up to maturity, and they seem to. I said it at the start. The addition of Keith Higgins was a big kudos to them.
And a player that had played so well for them last year. I don't know if he's even on the substitute bench here today. Patrick Dolan, the blondie hair.
Yeah.
Lit up the championship here last year. I don't whether he's injured or not, Tom, I don't know, but he was one of my star players definitely last year. Again, Oisin O'Mara going through it. Oisin O'Mara is
yeah. I don't know why you'd ask the opposite way.
Yeah. Let's just give the referee the benefit of the doubt there, because
he probably had called for steps just before the rugby tackle came in.
Might have had.
That'd be a way of getting him out of it.
That's what we'll say anyway. No, O'Reilly now. O'Reilly looks up and sees that there is a player there. That player is Oisin Coogan. Will go into Shane Cochran now. Sees a man that's free. Sam Duncan is free. Backs into Cochran. Bearing down and goal. Cochran just drives it into absolutely nowhere. It's kind of a dichotomy of the play so far from Milltownpass. Good, but just not good enough.
Yeah, and I know we're praising Tubberclair, but if Milltownpass had tidied themselves up a little bit with their shooting and a few little different things, they would have been closer.
Simple
I'm not
mistakes,
saying they would have been good enough
mistakes,
to beat Tubberclair, but they would have been closer.
They've made far too elementary mistakes, in my opinion. The midfield battle that we thought was going to be a battle has in the main been dominated by Tubberclair, and you know, if you're going to win a game, you're going to have your star players show up on the day. And again, look at that, just simple defending, you know, nothing spectacular. Matthew Whittaker moves 40 yards in the space of about 10 steps. The way he glides across.
Yeah, the way he glides, it's worth admission fee if anybody is thinking about Liam
Brennan is going to go here, Tom, I'm sorry to say. And he can have no complaints with that. I mean, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you, and there's a substitute coming in. And that's just sheer frustration. That's just sheer frustration from Liam Brennan. And Liam Brennan compounding his actions now by number 20 is on for Milltownpass. That number 20 is Owen Gallagher. He's on for number 10, Oisin Cogan. And
yeah, we need to get the stewards in there.
Liam Brennan has just lost the head here completely, and absolutely needless. He's only compounding his mistake by getting involved here on the sideline, and that's just silly on his part. And you know,
a little bit of a rush of blood to the head, but the steward should be there to stop that happening. He should not be able to get up there.
I agree with you. It's just, it's gone to nonsensical for state now, and in fairness, someone in the stand has said something as well, and Liam has lost. Lomans lost the head completely here, and it's been a frustrating day for them, and sometimes tempers boil over, but obviously someone in the stand said something to him, and that has struck a chord with Liam Brennan, and we don't like to see that, and certainly
no, we don't like to see that. We don't like to see that.
Whoever's in the stand should be escorted to the gates.
Look, it's an emotional game. It's an emotional game. Lads can have a bicker, but I still don't think he should be able to get up to the stand like that the way he was with the amount of stewards that we have here today.
And coming on to the field now, 2 substitutions for Tubberclair. That's number 30, that's Tyg Moody. He's on for Gavin Delaney. And Darragh O'Connor is off as well. He's replaced by Kyle Fagan. So Tubberclair just playing out for time. They know this game is over, and it has been over for, if we're being honest, Tom, it has been over since that third goal went in. Mick doesn't stand in ceremony. It's 3 minutes. It's all over. Game over here in TG Cusick Park. And a comfortable win for Tubberclair, Tom, and they're well worth that win, I have to be honest.
Yeah, well, they the standout players, our team, in the championship so far. They came up again, I think a good Milltownpass side, just lost away a small bit in today's game, but they had to go through that test to get to the final. Tubberclair, fair play to them.
And there's still some bit of a re-raw here in the stand, I'm afraid. Somebody's been escorted out of the stand as well, Tom. And rightly so, in my opinion,
yeah, it's just a little bit.
No need for it.
A little bit of tension's flaring up. But
yeah, and look,
I think the issue was Liam Brennan coming back actually into the stand again after being taken out. But again, it's an emotional game.
It's an emotional game.
Back to the action on the field. I thought Tubberclair.
I'd like to see Liam shake hands, and again it's broken out again here.
Again, where are the stewards?
Liam Brennan has gone up into the stand again, and this is just, it's got to silly levels now here, Tom. We don't want to see this at any game, let alone on the Tubberclair players should be told to not get involved, get away from it.
But we have enough stewards there though to take those guys away.
Unfortunately, I think it's Liam Brennan as well that's involved in it. Look at that's for another day. We have to commentate on what we've seen in front of us on the pitch, Tom. And in fairness, Tubberclair are comfortable winners, and 8 points doesn't flatter them in the least. Let's be honest about that.
No, good, and I think it was a genius move putting Matt Wigger, naming out number 7. I think he kind of half played at number 7, just on the edge of that ball. When they got up to the 50-yard line, they delayed their play, nice patient play, and then slipped it off to him. He got in for 2 cracking goals, and the move that led to the penalty was another cracking move as well. Well, Tubberclair were a little bit more mature, a little bit more
composed, Tom, I think is the word.
Composed, a little bit more, especially a little bit composed at the moment, but a little bit more composed. And David Martin be better off just getting these players into the dressing room now.
I agree. So we have to show some sort of leadership here, and in fact some of his backroom team I think are getting a little bit involved here, which is not good to see.
In fairness to Tubberclair, they are trying to get their guys who are a little bit hot-headed in the stand out of the stadium.
And it's a sad ending, Tom, to what it was a really good game, in fairness, even though Tubberclair were the better side, it was an interesting game. It was well played, and in the best of spirits in the main. I have to be honest with you, it just towards the end of the game it broke out into a little bit of nonsensical, I think more out of frustration than anything else. And we don't like to see these scenes after a game, and we don't like to see them at any stage of a game. But
no, but the story should be Tubberclair in the intermediate final.
Absolutely, and the talking point is not going to be that.
Who are they going to meet? Either Milltown or Shandona, who play tomorrow. And
on today's performance, Tom, you have to put Tubberclair in as major favourites.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it was perfect.
To score 3-12 with the amount of chances that they missed as well. I know that you're going to mention that as well.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect performance from from Tubberclair. They have a lot to work on, as you would like. Semi-final is all about winning.
Yes, I agree with
But
you.
Matthew Whittaker, there was doubts about him with injury over the summer period. He's back playing in the semi-final, scoring 2 absolutely fantastic goals. Looking a picture. McCabe in midfield played very well. Their forwards, but their inside backline were absolutely tigerish. They're excellent.
I was hoping you were going to mention that. I thought Cathal Tighe was absolutely outstanding, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephen McGonigal, he did a good job on Brandon Kelly. Didn't get the amount of goals that he got in previous games. Although Brandon Kelly, I thought, did play well. There's a lot of good players there in the Tubberclair team. We all know it. We all know there's a lot of good players.
Like 1 to 15, you could go down through the entire 15 of Tubberclair here today, and you could make a case for any of them being, putting their shoulder to the wheel as well. Milltownpass, it's a sad ending for them. They've played so much great football during the year, and they really didn't show up today. Is that fair to say? They were just second best at a lot of
They were up again a good side. They can be still happy with their season. They were down in Section B. They got up, they won their quarter-final, got to intermediate semi-final, and it's to build for next season now for them up at Section A. All is not lost for them.
I agree with you. I think moving into Section A is a major jump for Milltownpass.
I would still like to see Milltownpass win an intermediate championship and get up to Section B of the senior, because I think they're well able to compete there as well.
I would agree with you there.
And like Tubberclair, like all the 4 teams, to be quite honest with you, they're left in the intermediate. I think they go well at.
They certainly would compete at that Section B of the senior championship. But for the moment, at least anyway, it's all over here in TG Cusick Park. Tubberclair will contest for the Peter Garrity Cup. They're into the intermediate football championship. Shay Murtagh Precast intermediate football championship final, where they will play the winners of Milltown and Shandona tomorrow. It's been a red letter day for the green and gold. It's been a bad day for the black and whites. Tubberclair are into the final on a scoreline of 3-12 to Tubberclair, 1-10 to Milltownpass. From Tom Brown and myself, and from Sarah on camera, and indeed for Mark Pittam in the studio in Solihull, many thanks. Do stay with us, ladies and gents. Don't forget, it's a double header here in TG Cusick Park coming up here in a few minutes. Ray Gavin will be with you for the Senior Football Championship semi-final between Coralstown Kinnegad and St. Lomans Mullingar. But for the moment, today belongs so far to Tubberclair. We'll be back with you. Do stay with us.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams will make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
Evening viewers, and welcome back to TG Cusick Park for the second part of our double header. This the Shay Murtagh Precast Senior Football semi-final, the first of the two semi-finals between county champions from 2024 St. Lomans and Coralstown Kinnegad. I'm joined in co-commentating by Shane Donoghue. Shane, you know, at this stage of the year, it's you know, everything is on the line. It's all duck or no dinner, as they say. So we've seen in the last game the frustrations boiling over, but you know, hopefully, you know, a year is going to end for one of these sides here as well today. So hopefully we'll get a good cracking game over it.
Yeah, I'd expect so, Ray. Look, it's that lads put in a huge amount of effort during the year. Of course, this is semi-finals for winning. You know, to get there, to be part of the big day in the county final. Obviously, if you get there, you want to win it, but to be there on the big day is a big thing. I think we probably have the 4 teams left in the senior that we might have predicted at the beginning of the year. This is shaping up to be a very good semi-final. Lomans got a very good win against Tubberclair in their last group game, where had they lost, believe it or not, they would have been out of the championship, and they progressed directly to a semi-final. I'm sure they've got bodies back in the pitch and a nice block of work done in between. In contrast then, Kinnegad have had a couple of really good outings, having had a stuttery start to the contest, and they'll feel that they're building momentum. There's certainly going to be a little bit of looking for a bit of revenge for a couple of years ago where Lomans beat them in a county final. We're playing under different playing rules now. I think it's taken Kinnegad a little time to adapt, but they've come out of their shell a little bit. They've reshuffled their team. I think getting Breen Cooney into the middle of the field has worked well for them. So yeah, should be a good contest. I expect a nice bit of pace in this game. Kinnegad are well conditioned, and Lomans like to move the ball quickly when they get the opportunity. Now they'll set up their attacks if Kinnegad get back, but I expect a nice bit of pace and quite a bit more accuracy in this game than we saw in the intermediate semi-final beforehand.
Yeah, both sides going through their last minute rituals and warm-ups, and so the referee for today's game is Alan Coyne. He's out there in the middle of the field, but look, we'll take the opportunity now, Shane, to give our viewers at home the 2 line-outs, starting with the St. Lomans line-out first of all. And they line out with the goalkeeper number 1, Jason Daly. The full back line, David Whelan is at 2, Dara O'Keefe at 3, and in the left corner back position, Oisin Hogan doesn't start. He's replaced by number 26, Rory Sheehan. Half back line, Kieran Smith is at 5, Owen Hogan the centre back at 6, and Jack Kagan at 7. Middle of the field today for St. Lomans, Sam McCartney, we're 8, and partner Sean Flanagan, we're 9. In the half forward line, Kevin Regan at 10, John Heston, the centre half forward today at 11, and Kelvin Riley at 12. And the inside line for St. Lomans, Danny McCartan 13, Killian Plunkett at 14, and Shane Dempsey completes the Lomans line up wearing number 15. Coralstown Kinnegad, couple of changes from the team that will be on your screens at home. And the first one comes where number 1 Steve McNevin doesn't start, and he's replaced by number 16 Jason Mackin. In the full back line, Owen O'Brien is at 2, Danny Woods full back at 3, and the second change is a left corner back where Kieran Daly Senior doesn't start. He's replaced by Podge Quinn, wearing 17. Half back line, Owen Bracken at 5, David Giles at 6, and Josh Gahan at 7. Middle of the field, Kieran Daly Jr. wear 8, and Hill partner Breen Coney wear 9. In the half forward line, James Maxwell at 10, Gerard Leach centre half forward at 11, and Darren Giles at 12. And the inside line, Dan Leach, as always, wearing number 23, Callum Cruz the full forward 14, and then top of the left, coming in number 19, is Conor Callaghan in replace of Shane Fleming. So Shane, a couple of changes there for Coralstown Kinnegad, but I think a long, anticipated team what we would expect from them.
Yeah, and I think it still gives them good options off the sideline as well, Ray, should it come to that. And I think Jack has been very astute at that in his managerial career, that recognising that the team that finishes the game is equally as important as the one that starts. And they talk about that finishing team. Dublin had it for years. Kerry and Tyrone have been deploying it. Donegal tried it this year as well. So a finishing team is just as important as what starts. And I think what's been replaced and what will come back in are pretty much like for like, but Kinnegad looks solid the way they're set up. I think looking at the Lomans setup, it's from that number 8, number 9 forward is where if they click, that's where their real danger is. Their half forward line is very solid, mature, accomplished footballers, and a dynamic inside line with young Killian Plunkett probably coming out to do a little bit of work around the middle of the field when he gets an opportunity.
Yeah, we've seen him. Killian has played throughout the championship, wearing the number 9 jersey more often than not, so I would expect him to grow, and so I presume we can expect a few positional changes in that side. But looking at them, one of the main players is going to have a big impact in this game. We're delighted to see him back playing, is Sam McCartan.
Oh yeah, and he's progressed over the last number of years to possibly to be the best footballer in Westmeath. Now we're after seeing an outstanding performance from young Matthew Whittaker, probably a little bit to do to get to Sam's level. We've had Ronan Wallace have a phenomenal 18 months, if not 2 years, but Sam is right up there. He's the marquee player in the county at the moment, and that's only one of the fires that Kinnegad is going to have to put out. We comment on Owen O'Brien the last day and how effective he was at nullifying Conor McCormack against Colliery, but Colliery didn't have as many of those threats as Lomans have up around the pitch, and I think that's where the struggle might be for Kinnegad today, is to nail them all down.
Yeah, and it's going to be a big job, but a change for we noted at the last day, Shane, with Breen Cooney moving to the middle of the field, and it seemed to help both Kinnegad and help Breen's own game as well.
And what it did was allow Gerard Leach to operate at 11, and Gerard is very, very clever at picking out that quick inside pass, so the game is a little bit more fluid with that structure. And Breen is good in the air, he's very athletic, he has his county conditioning in him, he has several years of conditioning with Jack and their habits at home and how important fitness is to them. I think it gives them a better structure, but I think he could be on the back foot today if he's going to match up against Sam McCartan. What he's going to have to do is nullify Sam before he imposes himself in the game, and that's daunting for a young man too.
Two captains are out there in the centre. We see them, John Heston back, missed a couple of games with injury in the latter stage of the championship, did finish the last group game, and Darren Giles then for Coralstown Kinnegad, who's also been fantastic for his side, great left fun on him both from play and from free, so he'll be hoping for a big game today as well.
That's an interesting matchup because I expect Jack Gagan to pick him up, and Jack will match him physically. Jack has again a year or two of inter-county conditioning in him. He's a very accomplished, smart footballer from my perspective, and he's a threat going forward from the half back line. So again, that could take away from Giles' game, but if Giles gets the ball around the top of the arc, we know how good his left foot is, and if he gets to pop one or two, he becomes dangerous for Lomans, and they have to start to watch that and might take Jack's running game out of it a little bit.
Another player, Shane, just to mention, he spent a lot of the summer in New York, is the number 7 for Coralstown Kinnegad. I thought it brought a great dynamism to their team. That's Josh Gahan.
Yeah, and they'll need an equal performance, if not better, if that's possible, than he did the last day against Colliery. I think Lomans will be very aware of him, very aware of his run and threat wide down the wings and the power that he joins into attacks with. Look, there's going to be brilliant matchups, and if both teams play it with a pace, it should be a very good spectacle, but they don't care about the spectacle, Ray.
Yeah, we'll break them for our on Naveen. All the formalities out of the way. Shane and referee Alan Coyne is out there in the centre, looking to see who's on many positional switches. Killian Plunkett wearing 14, just making his way and just throwing his glove off. He looks like he's going to make his way back in towards the full forward position. Sean Flanagan is lined up here on this near side of the field. You see going into the middle of the field, looks like Kieran Daly Jr. No, in fact, Kieran is going back into the half forward line. Brian Cooney then is picking up, as we figure, with Sam McCartan. So a crucial matchup over on the far side of the field. Then we see Darren Giles. Darren obviously going to start in middle of the field as well. Two forwards on the inside line for St. Lomans, 4 in the half forward line. So obviously crucial to try and get the first possession here. And we're up and under, and Sam McCartan reaches high and gets the ball, and sets St. Lomans on the attack as he goes across to 45. Try to give it a sharp ball in as far as Kevin Regan. Kevin doesn't get the ball, and Coralstown Kinnegad turn it over. First possession for Brian Cooney here. Has support coming on his left hand side. Owen O'Brien bursting forward. He's listed at the right corner back, but he's already into the left half forward position. Just holds possession, pops it back as far as Brian Cooney as well, who gives it on to Geraldine Jackson in the quarter-final game against Colliery. Pulled a lot of the strings for his side there, created a lot of chances for his side. Coralstown Kinnegad just holding that possession. David Giles, the latest to get on it. Danny McCartan trying to close him down. David comes across into the centre. Brian Cooney makes a decoy run for him, and then James Maxwell steps forward, shoulders off his left foot, trying to get inside the tackle there of Kieran Smith. Instead, Giles just holds the ball and then injects a bit of pace as he heads towards the 20-metre line. On the loop around is the number 17, Podge Quinn. Podge in now to Dan Leach. Dan gets the shot in, dangerous one. Oh, just in over the head there of Conor Callahan, and Jason Daly had to be alert on the very first attack there, Shane.
Yeah, one of those where the miss kick can cause as much panic and much trouble as, the solid strike over the bar. But I was just watching it. Lomans are really matching up well man on man. They're tracking. They're not playing anything loose zonal at the moment. And if they manage to turn it over quickly, the 3 stars, Sam McCartan, John Heslin and Shane Dempsey, were waiting inside as the 3 that were left up forward. So it's a dangerous game to Kinnegad if they turn the ball over.
And here comes John Hess now coming forward. Put it across. Oh, Fisher with his left hand there came right across. Was all it was begging for a touch there, but goalkeeper Jason Mackin and the corner backs in there.
You can sure
it was number 17.
You can be sure that
they just go across the goals there. Yeah, sorry, Shane.
Yeah, you can be sure the chance to chip it over off right or left wasn't there, because John Heslin never turned down. I think he tried to fist it over his left. He missed it the right side, and look, it just shows how dangerous they are when they do get a ball up forward quickly.
Yeah, Kinnegad on the attack. Gerard Leach finds his younger brother inside as well, and Gerard's gone there to take it off him. Looks around him. The Leach is playing keep ball over there. Darren Giles now has it. He's on the 45-metre line, being tackled hard by Jack Gagan. Referee allows the play to go on. Giles, great strength there. 3 blue jerseys still after him, and then he just lays the ball off quickly, and it's back now with Josh Gahan. Josh across the 45-metre line where Ger Leach has a little bit of space. He's just outside the arc, and Ger backs himself, pulls the trigger, but I don't think we're going to be on target, and we have the first wide of the game for Coralstown Kinnegad.
Yeah, Paddy Dowd will be really, really happy with his defence from those first two Kinnegad attacks, keeping them under pressure when they're on the ball, outside the D, and you could see that Kinnegad were looking for that 2-point option because they can't get the ball inside well.
Yeah, and ball from the kick out, broken down there, but Sean Flanagan did well to get possession here, and St. Lomans just recycled and hold that possession. Back there with the full back there, O'Keefe lays it off as far as Kelvin Riley. Riley dropped it, and they move it forward quickly. Now it gives Sam McCartan a chance to drive forward. Sam had his jersey tugged, still carries it on, and coming on the loop around is Shane Dempsey. Dempsey holds that possession despite a strong arm tackle on him, and with the left foot he's dropped in. Goalkeeper needs to be careful. John Hesson is there. John Hesson got the touch on it, and John Hesson directed it over the bar. I'm not sure whether they were going for a score there from Dempsey, but he certainly knew he had the big man.
You can be sure he was, Ray. Shane Dempsey likes to get a shot in early in every game. I found that his first possession he will look to shoot, even if it's not the highest percentage shot, but he's a confidence player. But when you see the Lomans squad that's out there today, I think this is the first time that they've had all their big players in their forward line on the pitch at the same time, and even that dropping short, John Hesson's there to flick it over, could have easily went into the net. Yeah,
nice score from Hesson, and Kinnegad working the short kick out well, and carrying the forward there was David Giles, who pops it off now to Brian Cooney. Cooney on now to Ger Leach. Ger threads within, finds Dan inside. Dan, lovely dummies, he steps inside now. Can he get the finish to it? He fires in and it's back off the upright, and the first to react in there is the St. Lomans man, and on the breaking ball, and they carry it out here now, and that was Killian Plunkett there, the guy, and gets it on now to Sean Flanagan. Flanagan, great strength as he comes through the tackles there, and gets the free for his side. Great strength there from Flanagan. The tackles were coming in, they were all on the ball there trying to dispossess him, but he showed great strength, and eventually the referee said it's going to be a free out.
Yeah, and unlucky from a Kinnegad perspective. A lovely ball in from Jared to Dan. Dan, quick feet, a little dummy, and then got his strike off, and just obviously not even off the outside of the post, in the middle of the post, and fell down into Killian Plunkett's hands.
Yeah, Lomans on the attack here from the free. Danny McCartan lucky to retain the possession. David Giles is trying to hold him up here as he gives the ball back here, and Owen Hogan is told by Kevin Regan to take control of the match. He does that, gives it into Sam McCartan. Sam looks around and then just back to the halfway line where Kelvin Riley is there, and Kelvin just looks around, and Sam McCartan heads up play the whole time, just make sure that there's three back. Lomans hold that possession. Jack Gagan has it. He's on the Coralstown Kinnegad 45-metre line, recycles it back out again. Sam, he's involved again. Sam McCartan looks around. Sean Flanagan is there in support, but Sam trying to lose his opponent there, and he does manage to get away from Kieran Daly Jr. and he's going in, and Sam, when he gets a chance of a shot like that, that's usually the outcome of it, and that inside of the right foot. And that was all about Sam McCartan. We've seen him at his best there, Shane.
Yeah, both scores have come from Sam running at Kieran Daly and getting by him and getting a bit of space. The first one he gave to Dempsey. I think it's a poor matchup from my perspective from Kinnegad. I'd be trusting Brian Cooney to go on him and try and do a job. They're county teammates, panellists together, and trust the young man. I know you're saying you're trusting Kieran Daly Jr., but he doesn't have the same athleticism as Brian Cooney.
Yeah, Jason Mackin's kick out, not the best one in the world, but he's going to be called into action here, and he does very well there as an attacker came right across him there, but he kept his eye on it, did the netminder, he does well, and gets a good clearance out. Now there's a chance for Danny Woods to set up another attack down the far side. Tug of the jersey and Conor Callan. Referee has his hand in the air, so it's going to come back for the free there. Referee right on top of Matt is free. It's going to be just inside the 45-metre line, so it's a 2-point opportunity here now. It's going to be taken over there from the left side with the left foot of Darren Giles. Doesn't take the immediate shot on, so they try to work it in. Giles carrying it in, holds that possession, trying to get a little bit of space here and room to swing that left foot of his, and he does swing it. And he's, more importantly, not only did he swing the left foot, he swung the ball over the crossbar. Nice response there. 7.5 minutes, 2-1, but a nice response from Kinnegad there.
Yeah, and a lovely start to the game, Ray. We've seen these contests being very much shadow boxing for 35 or 40 minutes before they open up. But it's nice open football, both teams having a nice go at it.
Yeah, kick out, well taken down there by Killian Plunkett, and he gets possession for his side. There's a chance for Owen Hogan to come across. He's going to cross to the D, comes inside, tripped. And the ball breaks away from back as far as Shane Dempsey. Dempsey pulls the trigger on it and gets the shot in, but unfortunately for St. Lomans, that one has gone across left. I think they're right. In fact, it's not even gone wide because Jason Mackin has decided to keep it in play, and he's gone heading out across his own 45 metre line. Decides to lay it off to Josh Gahan as he makes his way back to the goal. Gerald Leach off now to Danny Woods. Danny coming forward. Nice ball in as far as Dan Leach from Darragh O'Keefe. Great strength there. Gets in there. I think that might have been Callum Cruz there. Was beaten to that ball. And Lomans opportunity now to punish Coralstown Kinnegad from that turnover. Kevin Regan into Killian Plunkett. Plunkett to Sam McCartan. As Sam directs things, just steps away from his man, then with the left foot he just puts it right across the centre where Jack Gagan has time now to come forward. Jack has a teammate very, very close to the side, and over on that far side it's Rory Sheehan. Sheehan straight down the line he goes. John Hessen is in there to take it on the loop around. Comes back out now as far as Kelvin Riley. Kelvin into Danny McCartan. McCartan back to Jack Gagan. Jack combining again with McCartan. He's inside the 40 metre arc. There's good tackling over there by Darren Giles again. Turns over, good turnover for the Kinnegad man. Deep inside their own 13 metre line, and they have a chance now to take it out the field. Ball moved across to the left here. There's a little bit of space now for Breen Coney. Breen taking on Shane Dempsey. Dempsey trying to stick with him as he comes forward, and then just takes his eye off it at the last second with nice soccer skill there as he got it out as far as Owen O'Brien. O'Brien, he backs himself with the shot, just didn't get enough curl on it. That one is going to go out over the end line and wide. Second wide of the day for Coralstown Kinnegad.
Yeah, good defending by Kinnegad that time, Ray. It'll please the sideline. Darren Giles back there doing the hard work, but you know, when you look at the scoreboard, Darren's the man that got the kick over the bar for them too. To have him back on his own 13 metre line, he can't do everything, so they'll have to try and get a little bit of balance on it.
Yeah, the kick out is into the centre. Kevin Regan just tried to give a little short ball on there, and it went out off to Darren Giles there. It is going to be a sideline ball. And Jack Gagan has already taken, gives it back to his wing back partner Kieran Smith, and Kieran on Coralstown Kinnegad's 65 metre line just gives it back to Jack Gagan and then makes his way forward. Gagan holds possession into the centre where there's a chance for Sean Flanagan to turn, but tackle coming in from Gerald Leach, but ball across to David Whelan. Whelan's first opportunity to get forward. He's continued his run because Danny McCartan has possession, gives it inside. Rory Sheehan is in there, they recycle it. Whelan has it again, not taking on anything crazy, instead just recycles back out across the 45 metre line, and Jack Gagan. Jack sees a pass on here, nice little ball played in front of Killian Plunkett. Plunkett has plenty of support around them. One of them is Kevin Regan. Kevin back to Sam McCartan, and Sam finds his brother Danny here now, just on the arc, just stops. Thought he might take it on the spin around, but hold it, gives it back to Kevin Regan. Regan in now to Dempsey. Dempsey, quick hands there, and there's a chance for Danny McCartan. Danny with the outside of the right boot, makes no mistake. That's his first shot on target, the first score for the number 13, 3-1, 11 and a half minutes on the clock.
Yeah, good run from deep inside out to collect the ball initially from Killian Plunkett, and then Lomans they're very well schooled on who's to get where to get the shot in. They're very deliberate about getting their shooters on the ball, and a nice finish from Danny McCartan there.
Jason Mackin with the kick out, short run out, fires it out into the centre. Great catch there from Breen Coney. Breen calls the mark, moves it on quickly. Just need a little bit more pace in it there because David Giles has it now, but it just allows Lomans defenders to filter themselves back and get in position as Gerald Leach carries it forward now over to that far side. Holds the possession off now to Darren Giles. Josh Gahan coming forward here, goes to ground, needs a little bit of support, and he eventually has it from Gerald Leach. Gerald did very well to come up there, and with the left foot he's not going to carry over the bar, but it's dropping in the square, kept in play there, but easy and comfortable gathering of the ball there from Jason Daly under no real pressure there, and sets an attack up, and now there's a chance here for Sean Flanagan. Sean out in front of Brian Cooney, picked it and fires it in first time as far as Shane Dempsey. Dempsey spins his man, he's still going, he's gone into the D, in towards the 20-metre line, lays it off, great opportunity here, shot, back of the net. What a finish. John Heston with the inside of his left foot gave the goalkeeper Jason Macken absolutely no chance in that there, but Shane Dempsey did ever so brilliant there. He got away, got a bit of space, no one came to him, he laid it off to his left to Heston. Great finish, Shane.
Oh, great finish, Ray. Great move. That was another ball that dropped short, and it started in Jason Daly's hands, and it was 3 kick-outs. I was counting in my head how long it would take them to get up into the opposition's half. 3 clean kick-outs. Flanagan made an unbelievable selfish run to get to the first one from Kelvin Riley. Lovely ball to Dempsey. Then Dempsey still showed that he has a bit of pace, and phenomenal finish from John Heston off his left foot. But it's just that the accuracy and the pace of that move was excellent.
Yeah, John Heston gives away possession for his side here, and this time it's a chance for Kinnegad to come forward. Owen Bracken has gone forward. He's trying to get inside Rory Sheen. He's forced just to come back and give it to Darren Giles. Kinnegad need to just get that scoreboard moving here. Darren Giles comes into the tackle, and great work rate by St. Lomans defenders there, and get the numbers in around the Kinnegad man and turn it over again. And Sam McCartan settles everything down, just pops the ball off, and Lomans on the attack again to put it through the hands. Kevin Regan, the latest to be involved there, he gives it forward here now, and coming right down the centre was Kevin Regan. Regan laid it off as far as Shane Dempsey. Dempsey with the shot off his left foot, but unfortunately didn't have the distance in that one, and Jason Macken had to be careful under the crossbar there, but he gets it back, and there's a chance now for the Kinnegad men to carry it forward. It's the number 19, that's Conor Callahan. Conor about to take on Jack Gagan, bounces away from the tackle, carries it forward. There's another St. Lomans defender waiting for him. A high hand in over the shoulder there, and referee just playing advantage. It's a lovely ball fired over to the far side by Callum Cruz, but I think a little bit of the impetus lost in this attack, and the referee is going to come back. But good work there from the number 19, Conor Callahan. Yeah,
Con Callahan, a synonymous name with carrying a ball and going by players. Again, a very intelligent free, I think, given away by Jack Gagan when he came in over the shoulder. But they also know that there isn't as a reliable kicker on the Kinnegad side as maybe Lomans have. But foul there, don't let it get back in over the top and start a 1-on-1 inside. So a clever free to slow down the attack. Now Alan Coyne did very well to try and play that was an advantage.
Yeah, Gerald Leach is going to take this and he'll be kicking from inside the arc. So it's a 1-point attempt, 15.5 minutes, 1-3 to a point in favour of St. Lomans. Gerald Leach just draws it in beautifully. Up the inside of the right foot, lovely score, 6-2, just 16 minutes almost on the clock. It's been pretty much an unexpected line, Shane, so far. St. Lomans getting a lot of possession and dangerous every time to break forward.
Yeah, and solid in their defence, and you know they've been questioned over the years, but I often laugh about Darragh O'Keefe being questioned in at full back. He goes in there, he marks his man 1-on-1. He never asks a question for someone to cover for him. He does his job, and quite a few more of the backs are doing that at the moment. So they're solid across the pitch at the moment. Kinnegad have to find a way to pick them apart.
Yeah, and they're after winning kick out as well here now, so they have a chance to come forward with Kieran Daly Jr. Wait for Gerald Leach to come on. Gerald, lovely ball over to the far side where Dan Leach has it in front of David Whelan. Dan, quick ball into Josh Gahan on the attack. Gahan goes to ground, not foul. Tackled very hard there by Kelvin Riley, but somehow Gahan gets in. Was there 2 hops? Gives the ball across into the centre. There's an opportunity here, and an opportunity taken by Callum Cruz. But Josh Gahan did extremely well there. Turned on a 6-man's in there. Didn't seem to be any room. He seemed to be almost in Dunstore's car park, but still he got in around it there and give a nice ball across the centre where Cruz finished nicely.
Yeah, as you say, orchestrated by Josh Gahan, but that's individual brilliance where it's not as much cohesion as you can see in the Lomans team with their movement. But yeah, excellent work by Josh Gahan, and we mentioned at the beginning of the game how important he is to these guys, and if he can play on his terms up that end of the pitch, it'll benefit Kinnegad quite a bit, really.
Owen Hogan, the latest St. Lomans man to get possession here, pops it in as far as Rory Sheehan. Sheehan under a little bit of pressure, spins away from the tackle and gives it to the ever reliable Calvin Riley, wearing number 12 today. Calvin just looks around and makes sure that there's enough players back in their own half of the field, and he's already set the attack up for St. Lomans. Back now with Sheehan. Going to come to the right. John Hesson is there on his shoulder, directing him where to go, and then Hesson says, give it back to me here. He takes it. All this just outside the Coralstown Kinnegad's own 45-metre line. Danny McCartan, the latest to take it on. He pops it off to Sam McCartan. Sam trying to get in on his right foot. Not allowed to, but forced just to hold the play there now as Shane Dempsey takes possession for his side. Dempsey sees a little bit of space, trying to get around his man. He's got around his man. Can he get the finish in? Then he gets the shot away. And it is. He fires it over the bar. It's Dempsey's first point of the game.
First point of the game, but not his first contribution. Obviously, the pass to John. He's had a couple of wayward shots, but he really feels he can take his man on and has the pace to get him, and he's proven it so far. So Kinnegad might have to look at that matchup as well, Ray, just from a pace perspective.
Yeah, the kick out goes short here and picked up there by Danny Woods. Danny fouled and tackled and fouled there by John Hesson. Gets the free for his side, gets up quickly, takes it, and they have it now with David Giles. Giles across there now to the far side where Josh Gahan has a chance to attack. Jerry Leach is on his shoulder, takes over the ball. Leach coming across the St. Lomans 45, gives it back to David Giles. Podge Quinn makes a run forward, doesn't get the ball, but he'll make the unselfish run. They have it still with Kieran Daly Jr. Straightens the line, draws in Sam McCartan and lays it off then quickly to Gahan. Gahan from outside the arc, he backs himself. The umpires are looking up at this one. What's the signal? To the right and wide number 3 for.
Yeah, and he had space, he had time to strike it, Ray. He struck it well, just off target, but I think that's what Kinnegad seemed to feel that they need to do, is shoot from distance, because they're not able to get guys inside moving and give the little pop pass inside the way Lomans are doing so.
Yeah, kick out was fielded very well by Sean Flanagan out there, got the mark and gets the possession settled down. Play is moved over to the terrace side over there where David Whelan kept it in play, and Killian Plunkett. Killian started at number 14 on his back, does very well here, and the ball is played back out as far as Kevin Regan. Kevin, not a renowned scorer for his side, but that time had time to get the shot away, but unfortunately crossed the face of the goals and wide, and a kick out again for Jason Mackin. Mackin looking to go short again. Rory Sheehan is putting pressure on this one. And I actually thought there was a foul there on the Kinnegad man because he's still on the ground. The referee doesn't see it that way. As Sheehan comes inside, gives it into Hesson. Big hit on John Hesson there. Does well to hold the possession. Back again to Kevin Regan. Kevin with his second shot in quick succession, but unfortunately for Kevin, not on target again. Two shots, too wide. Shane, I'm not sure if we can see the replay of that tackle, but it looked like there was a foul on Josh Gahan going down the ball. The referee.
Well, I think I'd give the benefit of the doubt to Rory Sheehan. He didn't throw a hand in. He ran his straight line. There was a bit of a coming together. Obviously, defenders under a little pressure on a short kick out like that, and oftentimes goes to ground quite easy looking for the free. I think Rory did well, but you know, there's two bad misses by Kevin Regan from very scoreable positions. The first one a little further out, but a lot more time, and that was really only a chip over the bar from 25 metres, and they need to be nailing them.
Yeah, kicked out was worked out well, and possession turned over very cheap, you know, and Danny McCartan has it on the edge of the 40-metre arc, gives it into Shane Dempsey and over the top to Jack Gagan. Jack does a sensible thing as he comes forward from the half-back position, and he fisted it over the bar. Nice goal, but again, Kinnegad were ruled cheap, giving away the possession there.
Yeah, you know, Shane Dempsey put pressure on the ball coming out. Jack Egan intercepted it. Then Jack gives a very, very quick pass into Danny McCartan, and Shane Dempsey still managed to get involved again in the move. And Lomans look to be in a bit of flow at the moment, right?
1-5 to 3. Clock just hits the 22nd to 22 minutes, as this one is hung out into the centre. Ball breaks inside, and Jerry Leach is there to pick it up. Quick ball inside as far as the number 14, Callum Cruz. Cruz continues on and takes the pass there from Darren Giles. Ball down the line. Dan Leach has it again. Dan just been shepherded away from the goals. Gerald Leach this time with the pass at the outside of the right foot across into David Giles, who gives it forward now quickly as far as Podge Quinn. Podge trying to get a little bit of room to get a shot away, but Sam McCartan does enough to close him down, but it's gone across into the centre now. There's Gerald Leach. Gerald's going to take a 2-point effort here. It's high, they're all looking at him, and he's nailed it. 2-pointer there from Gerald Leach, and I would say it's a score that Kinnegad needed.
Yeah, needed, Ray, and one they constructed much better as a team. They moved the Lomans defence over and back. Podge Quinn made a strong run from the back. Sam McCartan had to get to him, cut back inside, and then found Gerald Leach in a bit of space at the top of the D, and he's well capable to kick those.
Yeah, great kick out by Jason Daly. Finds John Heston, and John with a right arm in and fires it down the line as far as Rory Sheehan, who had broken forward. And Sheehan in now as far as Danny McCartan. Danny in as far as Shane Dempsey. Came from outside, inside the 20-metre line. The back out here now, halfway between 20 and 45. Closer to 45 now as Kelvin Riley gives it to Jack Gagan. Jack gets a call from Sam McCartan. Sam takes it, lays it off nicely with the left hand, and Kelvin Riley, not renowned for one of the best shooters, when he fires that one in, but it's a 2-point effort and a beautiful kick there from Kelvin Riley. We've seen a couple of those in Cusick Park of late, or go back to Ray Kennellan kicking 2 fine ones here against Roscommon, and that with a left foot from that far side gets it over the bar.
Yeah, Ray, a little incident here with Shane Dempsey sticking out a leg.
Yeah, just catches it.
He just caught Owen Bracken while he was coming to gather the ball. It was laziness more than anything else in that, and it's a knee-jerk reaction. It'd just be interesting to see what action the referee will take, if any.
And I'd say none by the looks of things anyway, because Shane Dempsey has walked away from him, and referees standing in there, Danny Woods and John Heston, are having words with him.
Danny Woods and John Heston are having quite a few words together as well off the ball. Ray have been keeping an eye on them. Danny, a big physical man, and we know that John can react by times. Most of the time he reacts very well on the scoreboard, but yeah, Danny's trying to get a little under John's skin, I think, for whenever the ball's the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, Owen Bracken, the man that was down, he takes a free quickly. Then Breen Cooney has done very well, almost getting the togs pulled off himself as well as he carries it forward, but he's not going to be allowed to take the free from there. He's got to come back. Jerry Leach is waiting. Jerry takes it quickly and sets up the attack again, where Josh Gahan is ready to take it on now. Gahan heads towards the Lomans 45-metre line, turns back. Jerry Leach is there. Jerry's looking up on his toes the whole time, looking to get a runner inside. The runner this time comes from Dan, his brother Dan, with the shot, and Dan this time he's found the mark. Nice score, nice response there. 1-7-6-4 between them. 25.5 minutes on the clock. And Shane, it's been end-to-end stuff. This half has really flown by.
Yeah, it's been decent, Ray. It's been accurate. I think some of the contests have been excellent to watch, but I think Kinnegad need that connection between Ger and Dan Leach to work as efficiently as it did that time. You know, snappy ball in, a snappy turn over the bar from close range, and a good turnover now.
Yeah, there's a little bit of off the ball here, but we'll continue on. The linesman should be dealing with it, but we'll watch now, because Dan Leach has another chance to get a shot in, uncontested there again. Unfortunately, Dan not on target. Now let's see, linesman, he's mic'd up, but I don't think he's going to take any action. His body's hitting the ground there, but referee taking no action. Let them go. Ball's on the 20-metre line. Jason Daly's ready to kick out again. In fairness, no one was really create much of a hoo-ha.
No, it's a manly game, Ray. Once there's no nastiness in it, you give a bit, you take a bit, you get on with the game, and I think all the players did that too, as well as Ken Gunning, the linesman, recognised there isn't a whole lot in this. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. But an entertaining 27 minutes of football so far, and quite a bit more open than I expected, and I'm glad from a neutral's perspective.
Yeah, David Whelan is coming forward here as far as the Coralstown Kinnegad 45-metre line before he's closed down. Lays it off quickly now to Killian Plunkett. Plunkett doesn't see any prospect going in there into that corner. Instead, he holds the ball and comes back around, weaves through a couple of players now. Has he room to get the shot? And no, because he gives it on to Dempsey. Dempsey forced back outside the 45-metre line. Coralstown Kinnegad not just closing him down. And now there's a chance for Sam McCartan. Sam with the reverse ball to Rory Sheehan, and back to Sam again, this time with a lazy left footed shot, comes across the face of the goals For Sam, that time not on target, it was a difficult angle across the face to go, and Jason Mackey not troubled by it, and he's heading out towards the 20-metre line, ready again to try and get his side on the attack again. Jack Coney a little bit frustrated down below. Shane 1-7 to 6 points at the same time. There's no breeze as such on like that, so happy enough as the ball falls nicely to James Maxwell. James carries it forward, does very well. Good strength there. Referee is playing an advantage here. Leach has possession. Leach is trying to get onto his right foot. I think he knows he has a shot.
I think that was the case. There was a shout from the sideline as well, Ray, that you have advantage, have a go. This is something the coaches are working on, and working with players on the pitch to recognise not always the guy with the ball in possession can see the referee is given an advantage, but to get that message to take, it's a no risk opportunity. If it goes over, it's a great bonus. But he still has an opportunity to kick two, and he kicked a fine one from here just a little earlier.
Yeah, Jarrah's going to be outside the 40-metre arc. He's found a new lease of life in his last couple of games, lining out with the number 11 on his jersey. He's a talented player. He's been around a while, and Shane maybe doesn't always fulfill his potential, but this time he likes the look of that one. Is it going to stay inside the post? And yes is the answer to that one. Beautiful kick there from Gerald Leach. 2-point free. 2-point game.
Yeah, you mentioned Jack looked a little frustrated. What was frustrating Jack was a little bit of lower work rate from some of the guys in the forward line that are supposed to chase the Lomans lads back out. It's not so much, it's this concentration and being tuned in, I think, that frustrating them a little bit. There's a couple of guys just not at the pitch of the game. Yeah. But they'll be pleased, the 2-point gap.
Yeah, and they have to kick out again. Podge Quinn is heading forward. Podge into Dan Leach. Dan needs a little bit of support here. Does well to shift the tackle and back with his brother Jared there available at all times. David Giles has it now as well. Giles, little punted ball over the top, and it's a chance for Josh Gahan to come forward. Gahan across the 45 has players over on the far side. Callum Cruz is over there. Back now to Darren Giles. Giles looks up, trying to tease and probe his way here and try and get an opportunity of a score here, and he's allowed to carry it in. He does very well. Great strength from Giles, and Giles with the shot. What a goal! What a goal! Oh, he slalomed through there. I think the Lomans defenders thought he was going to take the point as well, but he composed himself, kept going with it, and what a finish by the number 12. Darren Giles, what a great with the left foot. Jason Daly, absolutely no chance there. Oh, beating him on his near post. He won't be happy with that, but it was a fabulous goal from the Coralstown Kinnegad number 12.
Yeah, and a real tonic for them now coming into half time. Look, we've all known how good Darren Giles is, but he coasted by Kelvin Riley when he decided to take him on. His great strength, he probably was very close to having that over carry, but when he lifted his eye for the shot, he saw the opportunity and he nailed it, Ray, with a superb finish. And there was nothing fluky about it. The man saw the chance and he went for it, and they knew how important a goal would be.
Lomans trying to respond here. There was a chance there for Killian Plunkett. I think for a second he thought about going for the goal there, but just fires it over the bar. But great opening created again. Lomans shown quality of a good side. You can see the score. You go down and you get the next one back again. Jack Gagan involved with this one again. Nice ball into Plunkett, but worryingly there for the Coralstown defenders. There was no one near him. Fired it over the crossbar, and with that, Jason Mackin has kicked the ball out, and the referee Alan Coyne signals half time 1-8 apiece. Shane, do we predict that in the start of the game? We hoped we would get it.
Yeah, I'd probably, Statsman will go into both dressing rooms and talk about their conversion rates. There's been some poor wides and poor drop balls on both sides. So 1-8 apiece is probably the minimum we could have had, Ray. There's been a lot of scoring opportunities, a lot of nice open football. I think Killian Plunkett was right to take his early shot there. I don't know if he was fully committed to going for goal, but they needed that score, and he was beginning to get closed down. But entertaining open football, it's accurate to the degree of pass, and the hand pass and the kick pass, very accurate. It's just the final at the end of each move on both sides. I'm sure they do have stats people that there might be a little focus on that, but if they bring in any hint of not wanting to make a mistake again, I've been highlighted for kicking too wide or too short, it could spoil it for us. I think it's a tight contest like you'd expect in a semi-final. Two sides with pretty much their full playing panels, out on the pitch now. Perfect day for football, and so far so good from a neutral's perspective.
Yeah, just looking through the scores for St. Lomans, 5 of their 6 forwards have scored. The only one that has scored is Kevin Regan. John Heston with, of course, a crucial goal early enough in the game. Kelvin Riley with a 2-pointer. Danny McCartan 1, Killian Plunkett 1, Shane Dempsey 1. The other point from Sam McCartan and Jack Gagan with 1 as well. And, you know, Carson Kinnegad as well, they've had a nice spread of scores. 4 of their 6 forwards have scored. Darren Giles 1-1, that great goal just before half time, a great boost to them. Ger Leach has been excellent, a 2-pointer from play, a 2-pointer from free, and another free. Dan Leach with 1, Callum Cruz 1. So it's evenly matched. Everyone is involved in the game. You know, players are getting involved, forwards are being involved. You know, it's been a good, exciting first half. We look forward now to its conclusion. Let's see who's the first team going to go through to this year's Shay Murtagh Precast Senior Football Final. And with that, lads, Shane is going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. We'll draw breath. We'll be back in good time, though, for the second half. Join us back here in TG Cusick Park for that.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Seventh Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.
back to TG Cusick Park. Both sides just making the way out. Shane, you had an observation to make on how that first half was played.
But just one thing I think that really pleased Kinnegad. We haven't seen John Heslin stand with a ball in his hand for a free kick. So the discipline of that defence, I think all Lomans scores have come from play. You have to be very aware that, you know, a foul from 40, 45 metres on either side of the pitch for John Heslin is almost guaranteed a score. He's a 19 out of 20 kicker. So that discipline will please Kinnegad that they haven't given that opportunity, but they need to keep that up again for the second half. Likewise, Lomans have been quite disciplined. I think the 2 scores from Kinnegad have come from 3 points, 2 scores, 2 scoreable frees. So it's been disciplined defending.
Brian Cooney has carried this one forward from the throw-in, but disappointing finish for the number 9 there. He fielded the ball from the throw-in excellently, got 2 hands on it and came forward to the 45. But maybe a little bit of rush of blood, might have been just a little bit of composure might have been required there, but it is what it is. It's gone left and wide, and Jason Daly, he's going to take the first kick out of the half. He's looking on to, has the options to go short. Signals to Owen Hogan. He's not going to come this side. Instead, with the right foot, he launches over to that far side. It's Kelly and Plunkett over there, and seeing the bounce off his body, picked up then on the break by Coralstown Kinnegad, and they have possession again. Here's the working across the centre. There's a chance for Josh Gahan to wait for the ball and carry it forward. Gerald Leach is there right beside him, making the run. Gahan takes it on, uses Leach as a decoy, and then just pops it back to him. And Gerald cross now to the centre half back there. David Giles right footed across to Brian Cooney. Cooney with a long right-handed pass over to that far side. They're on the attack again with Podge Quinn. Podge back out now to Callum Cruz. This one comes in, but down again, just not on target.
Not on target, Ray, but we've seen this from Kinnegad at the start of second halves this year. They really target these 5 to 7 minutes at the start of the second half to get a squeeze on the side and see can they get a nearly purple patch in the second half. And when it goes their way, they seem to get into a real flow and finish the game out well. So it's an important period of this game to see who can set the tone.
Yeah, and they're on the attack again. James Macklin looking his arm pulled there, but to work it in, but just a shot in on the slip there, but they don't get it over the bar. I think it was Podge Quinn.
It was
Podge.
Yeah, it was Podge, and they'll be happy enough to treat the first 3 attacks within 2 minutes of the game. They obviously pulled 2 shots wide, but a good score there to put them a point ahead. And Jason Daly's recognising this and trying to take a little bit of a sting out of it, Ray.
Yeah, Signal has the hand in the air. There's obviously something from the training ground here. An overload over on that far side. He's gone over to that far side again. Brian Cooney is trying to get under, into position to get under, but Rory Sheehan is on the breaking ball now, and Lomans with their first chance. Sheehan, nice ball inside. Dempsey allows the ball to run. He's coming back actually. It wasn't for the foul on Shane Dempsey. It was actually on Rory Sheehan as he was coming to deliver the ball in. So
yeah, originally as Rory gathered the break, he did have a little tug back. Alan Coyne's done well with the advantage rate. It is at the discretion of the referee, no longer a 5-second, and I think he's done well with it so far today.
Free taken by Calvin Riley, gives it quickly over here as far as Kieran Smith. Kieran fists the ball in over the top where Sam makes it easy for me. Kieran comes on to it. Kieran Daly Jr. does well to hold him up there, and Dempsey pops it back around. Now John Hesson with the right foot. John drops it in. Jason Mackin needs to be careful in there. Good pair of hands there when netminder. He does well, and he's going to set up an attack here now with James Maxwell. Takes that ball from Josh Gahan. Quickly shifted inside where Danny Woods has a chance to get it on now to Darren Giles. Giles coming forward at pace. Has Callum Cruz here on this side if he wants to use him. Just slows it down. And Gerald Leach takes control of things as well. Gerald looks around. Dan Woods is there looking for the ball off him, but Gerald doesn't use it. Instead gives it back to David Giles. Giles halfway between 45 and 65 metre line. Little punted pass over to that far side. Podge Quinn has remained forward. Pops the ball inside. He's gone for the return pass. He's not going to get it. Because Conor Callahan, Conor has done very well to hold that possession, trying to get away from his man. He's gone into the corner now. He needs a little bit of support. Tries to get back out. Does very, very well. And recycles it here now, and superb pass across the field here now. Callum Cruz, why didn't he take the pass out, a shot on himself? He might get a chance now, and he does eventually. It has the confidence and clip it over the bar, but there was superb vision in that build-up. I think it was Brian Cooney looked up and fired a beautiful ball, and with that, first sub of the day coming on, TJ Cox going to come in
Yeah.
for St. Lomans.
I didn't want to interrupt you while that play was building up, and you know, when Cruz got the ball, he did first think, is there a goal chance they took, but Sam McCartan pulled up very quickly in that last attack, Ray, and it's a recurrence of his hamstring injury that he's been struggling with all year. He looks devastated on the sideline, and that's a massive blow for St. Lomans. You know, their marquee footballer is gone off. He, just as he offloaded to Shane Dempsey, you could see him pull up in a lot of distress, and it seems to be that hamstring.
Kick out at this time from Jason Daly is picked up by Lomans on the break, and Calvin Riley moves it right down the line. The first chance for TJ Cox to get him back. TJ tried a little bit of a trick there by stepping over, but Owen O'Brien was alert to that, gets the foot on it, gets it out over the sideline, but it is a line ball that St. Lomans have already taken. Kieran Smith back now to Calvin Riley. There'll be a little bit of a rejig, because I'm sure TJ Cox won't come into the middle of the field. So
No, I'd imagine that it'll either Jack Gagan will step in and play a role around the middle of the field, or we're going to see a little bit more of John Heston out around the middle field, where he seems to have placed himself. He's done this a couple of times in attacks, that he stays out behind it, but I'd imagine he's going to have to work a little harder out around the middle of the field to make up for Sam's absence, Ray.
yeah, Lomans have the ball on the attack over in the right corner over there to recycle it back out. You know, Danny McCartan has a chance just to look around him and see what's available. Kevin Regan is close to him, but a good hand in there by the Coralstown Kinnegad man, and they turn the possession over. Josh Gahan has it. Josh has been very effective for his side. David Giles, nice play from Giles there. Long ball down in here. Oh, there was the referee has signalled a free now. I'm not too sure what that was for. Shane, can you? Certainly he's come back and given the free for Coralstown.
Yeah, he originally had an advantage given when John Gahan managed to get the ball off the ground in front of Shane Dempsey. There was a little bit of a tug again. I think he's playing that advantage rule quite well.
Breen Coney has possession here again. Breen off the Gerald Leach is very tight in there. Danny Woods is involved as well. David Giles is now with a chance to come forward as Coralstown Kinnegad warm up a sub down below us. But when watching this, David Giles holds that possession. Gerald Leach offers support here. Is back with Giles again. Giles won't take the shot on, but he picks out a lovely ball to Josh Gahan, and Josh Gahan with a lovely finish. Simple play there from Coralstown Kinnegad. They moved the ball well there, and it results in that point as the sub coming in is Conor Callahan. The number 19 is going to be replaced by the number 15 for Coralstown Kinnegad as Shane Fleming.
Yeah, Con had a little bit of a quiet day today, Ray, but Shane Fleming coming in now while Kinnegad are in the ascendancy. Another good scoring forward, a guy with a great boot on him. And you know, they're just, like I mentioned, the first 5 to 7 minutes of the second half seems to be a time period of the game that Kinnegad have really targeted this year, and they've come out on top of it again today, and their gander will be up, and Sam McCartan going off for Lomans. I just think they're in the place where they need to be right now, but have the confidence, and once the nerves don't settle in, they have a good chance to press on in this game. Right?
Yeah, they're playing the stretch and the play out, because they've gone from the right side over to the far side, where Podge Quinn has spent most of this half into the half forward line along that left side. Gets the possession for his side, is going to cross into the centre now, where Breen Coney didn't expect John Heston to come out across the halfway line there to get the tackle in on that one.
Yeah, it's a dubious one, Ray.
Yeah.
I think Owen Gorman here, the near linesman, noticed that there is a rule that if you drift across the line and you're not impacting the game, you're not involved in the game, but John very much so was impacting the game, and I think he knew what he was doing. He knew he had to get to that ball. They've been very aware of it all day, who's crossing, who's not, but they were isolated up there, and he knew he had to go for that ball. The punishment is a free from where it happened, as opposed to bringing it forward, I think.
Yeah, Gerald Leach comes back. He's going to take the free for his side, looking for somebody to make a move, and it is Breen Cooney that offers it out there. Gerald needs to be careful here. Tackled after he let the ball off. The referee's not going to take any action to it. He's back on his feet again. He's ready to take this pass from David Giles, and now treads a lovely ball in. Dan Leach, Dan. As David Whelan steps, Dan carries it forward towards the 20-metre line. Thought about taking the shot on himself instead. Recycled the back to Breen Coney. And Breen Coney with a lovely score to his first of the day. We're 9 minutes into the second half. And Kinnegad 4 unanswered points, 112 to 1-8. David Whelan standing on the line, takes that short kick out. He was right on the line there, but mistake there from Jack Gagan. Oh, and a reckless tackle there on James Maxwell now. And I think there's another sub going to come in down below us here. The number 5, Kieran Smith, is going to be replaced by the number 4, Oisin Hogan. Reckless over there.
Yeah, we'll just see what county champions, what they're made of now, Ray. There's quite a few younger, less experienced players on the pitch for Lomans this season, as there might have been, and just in years gone by they wouldn't have panicked and they'd have found a way to grab control of this game. But if Kinnegad can keep this press on for another 5 minutes, you could see this peter out and Kinnegad progress to a final. But hopefully, from my perspective as a neutral, I want it to be a tight contest as long as possible, but certainly Kinnegad dictating everything at the moment.
Yeah, and Lomans reverting back to a lot of their experienced players on. The latest one to come on there, the number 4, Oisin Hogan, who has been a regular for the last number of years. This is now an opportunity of a 2-point free. Ger Leach, Ger puts the right boot through it. It's very tight. Oh, hits the upright. Oh, it comes back out. Darragh Keefe first to react to it. And Danny McCartan is back there to take that pass from Darragh and carry it forward. Good tracking there and tackling by the Coralstown Kinnegad man, and almost get it as the first opportunity for Oisin Hogan there. And Oisin just not to the pitch of the match just yet, but he'll want to be there in a hurry. He's on it again now. Great tackling there by the Coralstown Kinnegad man, and results in the possession turnover here now. And Josh Gahan stepped in and won it. Now Darren Giles, back onto his left foot. It's a 2-point attempt. Can he get it in? Oh, it's off the bar. Oh, nobody in there. Shane Fleming, he's discussing it, but he didn't just read it. I think he was hoping that it was going over the bar. Jason Daly, not sure what he knew about it, but Lomans rocking a little bit here now, Shane.
Yeah, and I liked that Darren Giles decided he'd go for the juggler. He had room to step inside to guarantee the score, but he thought a 2-pointer would really rock Lomans. Rory Sheehan kicked it a really, I don't like to say stupid, but that's what it was. It was a stupid ball across the front of his own goals.
But the quarries, you can say Lomans there as Jack Gagan came forward and Shane Dempsey took that one on the loop. And there's one thing, you said it already, Shane, that Lomans will not panic. They'll keep chipping away. They'll keep that scoreboard ticking over. You know, it's what Coralstown Kinnegad need to do. They've had a couple of opportunities, didn't take them. That time, Lomans get one chance and they take it. Short kick out works out nicely because Owen Bracken is there to control it for his side. Has support if needed there from David Giles. Pops it on to Giles. Giles has the possession, so they can work it back here now. And there's a chance for Owen O'Brien to come out. Owen, little ball, pops it on as far as Podge Quinn. And they go from the centre over to this right hand side. Down the line it goes. Here's a chance for Podge Quinn to go forward. Podge goes to ground. Referee sees nothing wrong with Danny Woods is coming forward. Nice side step from Danny there. 2 blue jerseys hanging around him. Surely being fouled. Yes, he was being fouled. Kelvin Riley not too happy with that decision, but it was good play, and we see Josh Gahan just telling his side just to calm down. They're 3 points in the lead. It's a big kick with Ger Leach taking it. I'm surprised Darren Giles is not making his way out to take it with the left foot. Just looking to see where's Darren. He's back here behind the player, but
yeah, I think he did the right thing. Yeah. Probably outside most people's range, and the angle was at only suits a left footer, so they've decided that the whole possession, see would they work a better chance.
Yeah, the man with that left footer would have fancied to take it. He's on the ball here now. He picks out Josh Gahan. And Shane, Josh Gahan spent a lot of the summer, I think, playing with Westmeath team in New York. I felt he was the one player that was really, really missing from this Coralstown Kinnegad team with the new rules, with the pace he brings forward, and he's really been a revelation today.
Yeah, excellent. I asked the question, could he have the same performance or even better than he had against Coleraine? He's certainly right up there, Ray. There's 2 good scores early in the game when they were under pressure. He orchestrated a score for Dan Leach himself, turning down the sideline. So yeah, big impact so far.
Yeah, and coming forward on the kick out. Just while that was happening, there's a sub introduced. Kevin Regan making his way off. Nelly Duffy wearing number 21 has just been introduced. Sean Flanagan was coming forward with that possession, and foul goes to ground. Now it's a 2-point opportunity, and you know there's only 4 between them. You know it's only two kicks now, two obviously 2 long range, two pointers, and we're back in the game again. Here's a chance now for Heslin to get one of them.
Yeah, and I think he needs to impose himself in the game. He got in the aerial challenge on that kick out, and I think that's where Kinnegad have won this first 15 minutes of the second half, is in around that middle on the Lomans kick out. This is a huge kick in the game, Ray.
Yeah, we're just almost halfway through the second half, 14 and a half minutes taken by there as Hessen is on the Coralstown Kinnegad 45 metre line, robbing a couple of metres as they always do, fires this one in. Now what's going to happen? It's brilliantly fielded in there by Danny Woods, the full back, and Woods lays it off quickly. Kinnegad did very well. Woods has been excellent throughout the game. On now to bring Coney, opens it across to the left hand side where heavy tackle on Owen O'Brien there. Owen goes to ground. A little bit of frustration creeping in for St. Lomans at the minute, but Coralstown Kinnegad just need to keep the heads, and the old saying, Shane, get that scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, keep it ticking over, keep control, don't react. Lomans will test you this way, Ray. They'll test you physically when they go a little bit behind. They're able to lay a bit on the land, they're able to slow it down. They try to change the momentum of the game in many different ways. Rory Sheehan knew what he was doing there. He was coming in, he was going to leave a bit on it, he was going to say we're not lying down, without a fight. And Kinnegad just need to keep to the process, and I'm sure Jack has schooled them on this, on the process. Everything is working, we just don't lose focus, stay tuned in, keep doing the right things, and they'll find themselves. Here's a man that's played very well, Rory Woods, today, Ray.
Yeah, he's gone forward again, like charging down the centre there. There was a substitution made there. Number 10 James Maxwell has just been replaced by the number 20 Jack Torpy. David Giles has been excellent throughout this game as well. He's carrying this game to St. Lomans. He's trying to shrug off Calvin Riley, leaves it over to Dan Leach. Dan inside as far as Podge Quinn. Podge back now as far as Giles again. Play switched across into the centre where Josh Gahan is in a little bit of space, but Bring Cooney fancies this one. Why not? Is it gone left? No, it's not. It's right on target. The umpire, the way he was looking at the shade, I didn't know whether it was inside or out, so he just ambled up to the flag. Brilliant score. Exactly what Coralstown Kinnegad need to keep doing.
Absolutely, Ray. And I think Breen was a little bit dubious over himself. He watched it for a long time in the air. When he realised it over, he turned around a little punch and back into position. So he's still very focused on what needs to go on here.
Yeah, superb catch there by Nelly Duffy there on that ball. Takes the free quickly. TJ Cox, his first introduction really to the play. Gives it off quickly now as far as Rory Sheehan. Sheehan back to Cox again, who goes inside. Back as far as the number 21, that's Nelly Duffy again. Duffy fists the ball inside to Sean Flanagan. Flanagan moves it across to the right where Jack Gagan comes across the 45 metre line, drops the shoulder, taking on his man now. Can he get the shot in? No, he can't, because Jack Torpy has made a superb block on it. And Coralstown Kinnegad swarming around Lomans man. Lomans goes to ground. Oh, maybe a softish free. I thought they had done very well to shepherding them out there, but referee Alan Coyne close to the play, he signals that it's going to be a free. No, I'm not sure. I think it's inside the arc, is it?
It's just inside the arc, Ray. I think TJ did well. He'd worked hard out here originally. He found himself over the other side of the pitch. He tried a couple of efforts. Maybe he sold the free a little bit to Alan Coyne, but this is a tough kick from the corner of the arc and the 21 metre line.
There's another sub coming in for Lomans, but we'll watch this one. Is TJ going to drop this one in? Certainly be hoping for the score. He's just inside the 40 metre arc, so robbing a couple of metres as always. Doesn't get a great connection. I don't know, that's a disappointing shot.
Yeah, between John's free from the 45 dropping short and that missing on the near post, they're very costly miss for St. Lomans.
Yeah, sub coming in, and it is Rory Sheehan who's making his way off. He's going to be replaced by the number 23, and the 23 is Shawnee Bracken.
Yeah, and Rory's done his job for today. He's worked hard. Shawnee Bracken was always going to be introduced. More likely that he'd been brought into the backs, but it looks like he might be given a job to tag Josh Gahan for a little while.
Yeah, the kick out goes through the hands there of Breen Coney, and is picked up by St. Lomans out in the centre where Nelly Duffy has the possession. Nelly shifts it across towards the sideline, over on that far side. Lomans trying to build, trying to get a little bit of momentum. Coming inside here now. Shifted back here as far as Calvin Riley. Riley on now to Jack Gagan. Jack solos off his left foot, being fronted up by David Giles. He's forced to come back to Calvin Riley. The two number 12s are going to tackle each other. Great strength there from Darren Giles. Calvin Riley just tried to shrug him off and then put him under pressure then and pass with the right foot, but he picks out Danny McCartan, Danny inside towards TJ. TJ very close to the sideline. It's gone out over the sideline. The linesman a little bit away from the player, but in fairness to him, he would see the player right down the line there, and flag up in the air. Great defending again by the Coralstown Kinnegad, but 19 and a half on the clock. 1:15 for Coralstown Kinnegad, 1-9 for St. Lomans, as the line ball is played back in. Breen Cooney needs to be careful, but he's able to carry it outside the 20-metre line. He's going to be tackled here, but great work there by the midfielder, and lovely ball there, but hand in there from the number 4 there. That's Owen Hogan, or Usheen Hogan. Usheen did well to rob that ball back for his side, and they have it here now with Nelly Duffy. Duffy trying to get away from his man. Over to the far side, Danny McCartan. Danny, down the line it goes. Danny Woods and TJ Cox. Danny just saw the farm a little bit there because Cox got it in front of him. He comes inside, takes a shot, and TJ Cox shows his quality there. Lovely score there by the man just introduced, at number 17.
Yeah, I needed that, Ray, because he fumbled the last one in the same position. TJ needs to gather them first time. He needs to turn, and like that, he's very, very accurate. But Lomans are trying, they're throwing everything at it here. Kinnegad are still in control. Dubious enough kick out that they're after getting away with, and they just need to get out of their own half now and clip, as you said, keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, they have a chance now to get it out over there on the far side, and the chance, I think it's Owen O'Brien has gone like a rocket down that far side of the pitch. Great play, and a lovely little ball inside, just a little bit short on that, and there are the little mistakes that are creeping in to the Coralstown Kinnegad players. We head into the last 10 minutes or so. Lomans turn it over here now, and they'll try and capitalise. 1-on-1 inside. Put in by Sean Flanagan. Danny McCartan is out in front of his man as Killian Plunkett tries to make a run right down the centre to get bodies in around the front of that goal. John Heston has it here now. John gets room somehow to get it onto his left foot, and he fires in, and that's a brilliant score. With the quality of the man, turnover at one end, and we're back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, an outrageous kick really off the left foot, in no space, no room to take a backswing. And it just barely dips over the crossbar, Ray, and a huge score for St. Lomans.
Yeah, referee just coming out in the centre. I think just having a word with a couple of players, but kick out is allowed to go on here now, and Owen Bracken has it for the Coralstown Kinnegad man. He's gone down the line. Sean Flanagan trying to close him down, but still Kinnegad man keeps going, goes into the tackle, not fouled to the referee, and Kinnegad holds that possession. But it's a great run there by Owen Bracken. He certainly felt that tackle anyway, but he got back on his feet, and the most important thing for Coralstown Kinnegad was he kept possession. Josh Gahan. Josh takes it across this side of the field, looks up, and then with the right foot he goes across to Breen Cooney. Breen takes it on the bounce, so once off the left, bounces it, now off the right, bounces again, trying to be shut down there by Nelly Duffy, but Cooney nice and calm, holds on to it back as far as David Giles. Giles is on the 65-metre line for St. Lomans. Holds the possession. Josh Gahan is here. David won't mind. Gerald Leach looks around, and Gerald comes out. He's the playmaker, looks up straight away, finds the brother Dan trying to get inside his man now. Can he get the shot off? He can get the shot off, but it's gone right and wide there.
Yeah, right and wide, Ray, but Kinnegad are doing the right things. Look, obviously we mentioned in the first half some poor wides on both sides, but they're doing the right things, and they're still controlling this game. It's St. Lomans that look a little bit rattled at the moment. Duffy has come in and got his hands on a couple of really good balls here, but they just look like that they're swimming against the tide at the moment. It'll need a really, really strong finish for them if they're going to get something out of this.
Yeah, but you know, you never can write this St. Lomans team off the experience and the quality they have. Possession, I think there was a shout there. I thought there was only 2 up for Coralstown Kinnegad, but Dan Leach just steps inside the half of the line, and Shane Dempsey with a beautiful pass to the outside of the left or the right foot, where Killian Plunkett has a chance, and Killian takes the shot on himself. Now he's leaning it, gone up into the air, but unfortunately for Killian, just didn't get it inside the upright. I think that's only the second wide of the second half for St. Lomans. Coralstown Kinnegad have 3 of them. 4 wise men down below us here for Coralstown Kinnegad, deep in conversation. Paddy Dowdle standing alone down on the bench for St. Lomans. His mentors are there around him, but Paddy standing all alone. Kick out, broken down well by Breen Cooney, and picked up a heavy tackle there on the number 17, Podge Quinn. It was John Hester that got the arm in on him there, but Quinn goes to ground, but the referee seen nothing wrong with it, and Coralstown Kinnegad hold the possession. Ger Leach. Ger pops it off now to Darren Giles. Giles, two number 12s have come together a good few times here. That's Kelvin Riley. I think that was nice play there from Darren Giles. He bounced it off his opponent there, gone out over the sideline, gets possession for his side, takes the line ball quickly. Coralstown Kinnegad man down on the ground over on the far side. Podge Quinn limping forward, trying to get into play, offered an out ball, but David Giles is there, and Giles trying to take on his man, does very well to hold it, and then gives it on now to Ger Leach. Ger looks up as he carries it forward, and Ger, lovely ball inside. Shane Fleming has it. Fleming when they're off the right foot, that's a audacious effort. Oh my God, what a score! Even Shane Donoghue was applauding that one. It was the wrong side for a right foot, if we can say that, Shane, but what a kick.
Yeah, and I think that man Ger Leach has just given in the most sublime passes into the forward line. His day's work is done, Ray, 25 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock of the second half, but he's been a real puppet master. We've mentioned a few of them down through the years for different teams, but his ability to give that clean, crisp pass inside to a forward that's moving towards him and nailed him with it. Now, I'm not taking away from Fleming's kick. It was an audacious effort, but everything was made easy by that pass in.
Yeah, Ger Leach certainly emptied the tank there for his side. The ball in the kick out is broken down. The man introduced, Jack Cole, exactly what his mentors would have wanted. An injection of pace and just impetus for his side as well. Fleming now, his confidence will be up after that point. Gives it inside. Taken brilliantly on the turn there by the number 20 there. That was Jack Torpy. Jack gives it inside. Coralstown need to get the shot away. They have an advantage here, so they have a shot for nothing. The shot comes in. It's going to go wide, but I won't mind because Alan Coyne signals here that it's going to come back for the free. A free on the edge of the arc. It suits the left footed kicker. No. Every one of these kicks are so crucial. Shane, there's huge pressure on this Darren Giles, experienced player that he is, but this would really, if he can nail a 2-pointer here, would put a bit of serious daylight between the sides. Yeah, and he's having a good game, Ray. He's really tuned in. You mentioned a couple of little things, like the goal he scored was from being very focused. The sideline ball he won here a moment ago. And this is something he'll have put hours into, Ray. He'll really back himself in this kick. Left footer, we're almost right behind it as he fires it in. Now, it is a 2-pointer. Brilliant kick there from the number 12. He has been outstanding throughout the game. Another sub coming in. Podge Quinn, the number 17, is making his way off for Kinnegad, and he's replaced by the man wearing the number 4, which is Kieran Daly Senior. And there's a sub, I think, for St. Lomans as well. I'm not sure. It's number 18 has come in for St. Lomans. 18 is Nathan Lally, and it's Killian Plunkett that's making his way off. Podge Quinn, huge effort from Podge Quinn. He got a really serious knock over there in the far side. Probably has a dead leg for trouble as the batter down the ice bag there, and on the kick out is picked up again by Shane Fleming. Fleming just holds that possession around the centre. Kieran Daly Jr. is over there. Fleming has drifted into a little bit of space. Player has gone down, but Shane Fleming.
Yeah, I don't think Shane could see him coming from behind, and he tried to throw an arm at it. It was accidental.
The ball there, I think we just might see it on the replay again. Doesn't make it any the less painful for
certainly not, and he's got eyes on the ball. Probably does see a guy coming a bit. He threw an arm at it to try and knock it forward.
He got the fist on it.
We talk about Kinnegad having a finishing team, and we can see it now, Ray. Those few subs that have come on with Shane Fleming, Podge Quinn has been replaced with Kieran Daly Jr. You know, the guys that are coming on are equally as good as what has put in a shift for them, and Shane Fleming has kicked that excellent score a few moments ago, and Kieran Daly Senior is so comfortable on the ball. He'll go in and finish the job that Podge Quinn has done in the first Well, it's 29 minutes gone on the clock now. There's very little time left for St. Lomans to drag anything back from this.
Just trying to see which of the St. Lomans players was on the receiving end of that bang. Certainly Physio just taking his time with him because it is a head injury, so they have to be careful. There's a little bit of stuff bubbling under just off the ball here. Players marking each other, not giving an inch to anyone at all. I think it might be Nathan Lally that got the bang.
Yeah, he's only after coming in. Ray. You know, a nice introduction to it, but yes, there's a little bit of shoving and pushing around the middle of the field, but that's what you want Kinnegad to be doing right now. So we're not going to surrender the lead we're after building up. They will. There's always a little bit of sledging in games like this, Ray. We can't deny it. It goes on in the game, and they're just letting the Lomans lads know that we've got GD thrown now if we see out the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, Nathan Lanny's walking a little bit gingerly now, I have to say. Hopefully he's okay. Conan O'Hara wearing the number 20 has just made his way on, because Nathan Lally, we never like to see it. I didn't think I thought it was a pure accident on the collision, both players being brave. Fleming just reached out and got a fist on the ball, but obviously connected with the St. Lomans player there. 6 minutes of additional time. Don't know where they got up. Well, we've had a few injuries, all right. 6 minutes, 6 points between the sides, 118 to 112. One of those minutes is gone. It's going to be a free for St. Lomans as they carry it forward here. Good tracking back there by St. Lomans. Lomans fans free on this side of the field as Calvin Riley get the ball across him to here, and Riley steps in. Breen Cooney immediately steps out and tries to hold him up. Referee has his arm in the air again. He's going to play an advantage, so it will come back for the free. And Leach thought he was away on a handy one there, but unfortunately Alan Coyne,
yeah,
and then not giving the ball back.
A little bit silly. Of course he was protesting. He didn't realise that the advantage had been awarded, but didn't hand the ball back, and it's been advanced. And I'd imagine that St. Lomans will take the score and try to. Oh, indeed, John Hesslin is going to back himself and going for a 2-pointer just to reduce the gap a little bit more, Ray.
I think one of the options that when the ball is brought forward, that you have the option then to come back outside of the arc to go for the 2-pointer. Because we've questioned that on a couple of different occasions why players weren't allowed to bring it back out. I think it's on that technical foul. When the referee brings it forward, you can then come back out. And John certainly needs this one. The 6 between them at the minute. 2 of the 6 minutes already played. Hessen, suit a right foot kicker. He'll draw this one in off that right post. Fires it high, and it looks like he's done exactly what it says in the box. He has done that, fired over the bar. 2-point free there from John.
Yeah, and Jason Mackin now should just waltz out a little bit slower. Indeed, if he has to take a yellow card or concede a point, but run down as much of this clock as he can. He doesn't need to rush this kick out.
Yeah, he's going to put the right boot through it and fires it out into the centre. Breen Cooney goes very high. This is a crucial ball. If Jack Gagan is on the ground, somehow manages to come up with it. There's players around, and then referee signals free for holding on to the ball too long. In fairness to Jack Gagan, there was very, very little he could do about that. It's a free for Coralstown. Kinnegad need to take it quickly. They do take it quickly. And David Giles, David sees a little avenue, came forward. Players going to ground here on and off the ball, but Coralstown Kinnegad have it inside here now. That's their number 20. That's Jack Torpy. Torpy's on now. Can he squeeze it over the bar? Can he? What a lovely one from Jack Torpy. That's his first one of the day. Now we're halfway through the 6 minutes, a little bit more. 3.5 minutes of the additional 6 minutes are played. Jason Daly goes short with the kick out.
Yeah, just a hold up here. I think the linesman's drawn the referee's attention to something, but there, Jack Torpy and Josh Gahan connecting, and they had been in America as well, as you mentioned, Ray, during the summer. But a lovely little shimmy from Jack left his man on the floor and chipped over a very securing point, I think, for Kinnegad.
It looks like it's a water boy over on the far side. He's going to get a yellow card for his trouble, and you know, probably suits Coralstown Kinnegad. Now, what's he going to do?
Based on dissent from the sideline or a team member or a mentor, he's bringing the free in. He's bringing the free in. It's a technical free again, Ray, as you just mentioned. So John Heston will have the option to bring this outside the arc as well. So any dissent or interaction from the sideline is punishable under this new set of rules. So I'd imagine what will happen is that the ball will be brought back out to the edge of the arc and John will go for another 2-pointer.
Yeah, let's see. They have it inside. John is looking for it anyway. He's going to come back outside and a chance to get it back to a one-score game. 5 between them. That clock is ticking away.
You know, you can legislate for everything, Ray, but you can't legislate for your waterman saying something wrong to a linesman down the far end of the pitch in an emotional game, and it could cost, you know, two points on the scoreboard.
119 to 114. 5 minutes have elapsed of the 6 minutes additional time as John Heston, he'll try to repeat what he did a few minutes earlier. Kicks it high. And yes, signals have gone over the bar. Second one in quick succession from John Heston. Now Shay, that gets to the stage, you know, where these kickouts are hugely important. There's not going to be many more plays in this one. 20 seconds.
Yeah, and indeed, Jack Hagan managed to get his hands on the last one and got done for over carrying when Kinnegad swarmed him, and that's all they need to do again. Hands on the ball, see can they run down a minute, press forward, make Lomans make a rash decision.
Yeah, and a heavy tackle, and Kelvin Riley's not too happy with that, but again, a little bit of dissent there. Should that be punished as well? I'm not sure. But
yeah, he's expressing frustration there. He felt that he met him front on front, but that's not a legal tackle in Gaelic football, Ray. We see a lot more of it in the hurling, and I think we need something like that. It's something defined. It was just body on body, but it's punishment for Lomans.
Yeah, Josh Gahan has done very well here. He carries it forward now. Breen Coney. Breen pull the trigger maybe a little bit too quickly on that one, but we're gone 10 seconds over the additional. Coralstown Kinnegad supporters are pleading with the referee. A bit of theatrics there from Jason Daly back in the goals, and he was prevented from taking that quick kick out. All eyes are on Alan Coyne. Remember, we were here a couple of weeks ago when he called an additional 4 minutes and he played a few more, so they won't want too many more. Kick out has gone over to the far side. Dan Woods is up high on it. Ball is carried off. Great anticipation by Darren Giles. Fleming is inside him. He gets it. Pass wasn't the best in the world because they forced him high, but it doesn't matter because the arm is up in the air and it's going to be a free, and Fleming is going to stop. Are we going to have new champions for 2025 in Westmeath Senior Football? Shane Donoghue, there's looking certainly very like a 3 between them, and I think if they can nail this kick, it will be the final nail in Lomans' coffin, I would think. Yeah,
I think everything are against Lomans retaining their title now, Ray, between the clock, the scoreboard, where the possession is at the moment, and the little bit of hunger that Kinnegad have shown towards the end of this game. I'd imagine the rain is
crucial kick. It's high and he's nailed it. He knew as soon as it left his boot, he had nailed it. It's the number 18, Jack Cole, that fired it over. Great kick there from Jack.
Referee is looking at his watch.
He's looking at his watch. He's gone jogging over that far side. Yes, it is indeed. It's all over. Oh, what a performance from the men from Coralstown Kinnegad. We see the men are celebrating on the line. 4-point victory, 1 goal and 20 points to St. Lomans' 1 goal and 16 points. It was a cracking match, Shane Donoghue. It had everything, but I think the men from Coralstown Kinnegad well worthy of that 4-point victory.
Oh, very much so. Very across the pitch, across the hour of football, they were the better side. They have the deeper panel, they had the more composure, they had some of the bigger performances around the pitch. Credit to St. Lomans, that we've said so many times over the year, excellent champions, and you know they have been worthy county champions last year, but that story is over now and there's a new script ready to be written for 2025, and I'd have no argument with anybody that says that Kinnegad were the better team today. Absolutely were. Even that last moment of Darren Giles bursting along to intercept a ball from Jason Daly's kick out, that intent that they showed, a moment of genius from Darren Giles. I'll watch that a few times because the awareness to look up and recognise that there's a chance to really hit the jugular here, and he did that in the first half with an outstanding goal, one that matched John Heston's finish from earlier. But all in all, Kinnegad, a better team across the pitch. They worked harder, they were more accurate, they had a deeper panel, they finished with a stronger team, or equally as good as what started. And I think Lomans put up a brave fight. Shane Dempsey had a very effective first half, and I think he touched the ball maybe twice in the second half. They didn't have the panel to see these games out, and that's what they need, and they've known it for during the year, and indeed probably lost one or two off the panel. We say Peter Foy's not around, Fiona Hara's not there, so they're not equipped enough to be county champions, and kudos to Kinnegad. They look like they'll...
Yeah, and we have to mention the loss of Sam McCartan early in the second half. We see him just walking around there. You know, he was congratulating Jack Cooney down there. You know, respect from each other to each other. But you can see you have an ice pack strapped around the back of the hamstring. He was a huge loss as it turned out in the end.
I can't be underestimated what that meant to the game at the time, but I think that Kinnegad had strangled or taken a strangle of the game at that stage. Lomans were beginning to look like they didn't have the answers to the questions of Kinnegad. I mentioned the start of that second half. It's not the first time I've seen it from Kinnegad. They did it to Mullingar Shamrocks, you know, in a game where Shamrocks were up by a couple of points at half time, and Kinnegad came out and blitzed the beginning of the half. Very, very intentional press in the middle third of the pitch. Get a lot of pressure on the opposition's kick out. Take a few shots at goal when you get the chance. There was no complaining or roaring from the sideline when they went wide. The intention was to see, can we squeeze this game, and they did that. And the timing of Sam going off 7 minutes into the second half certainly didn't help Lomans' cause, but it'd be credit to Kinnegad. I think they went and won that game today. We've criticised them, and I certainly have in the past. I've not been ambitious enough, but they went and won that game today rather than letting a win happen to them, and best of luck to them.
I spoke to Ken McNevin, one of the selectors, before the game, and you know, he said to me that with the changes they were making, they were on the with an eye on finishing with a strong team, and that's how it transpired. I mean, Shane Fleming kicked probably the best point of the day here at once, but it was a crucial score. It wasn't just the quality of the point, but it was at the time they got it. You know, they were very, very economical with their conversions. Like, they had very few wides. I think in the whole game, Lomans, I make it at 6 wides, and Kinnegad at 7 wides. So huge percentage conversion from both sides. Jerry Leach was excellent as well, but there were stars all over the pitch for Coralstown Kinnegad. Lomans, quick word on the chain. They've been great champions, represented Westmeath and Leinster when they came over as well. They'll be disappointed for another year. Their team, you know, players will get that little bit, you know, will be a year older next year as well. It'll be hard, but they have plenty of talent coming into it. They've blooded a lot of young lads this year, but maybe a little bit of transition for them.
Yeah, a little bit, Ray, and I think, look, the result or the position at the end of the year reflects the campaign that they had. Like I mentioned, they stuttered through the group. They actually stuttered into the semi-final and hadn't got that sort of momentum that they've built over the last couple of years. They've lost players from the panel, between Lance Travelin, we know Ron O'Toole, we know that Fola has switched clubs, we know Fiona Hara is struggling with an injury. There was people left the panel during the year. It just wasn't working for them during the year enough for me to say that they would be worthy county finalists, never mind county champions, on this year's performance. But they have been excellent. They've been the bar setters for 10 or 12 years, and they will bounce back. It's a club that's just grown. They're doing everything right. They've plenty of members. Lads will be very disappointed with the result today, but again, I don't want to take away from what Kinnegad have done. No. Kinnegad have been the opposite, a really stuttery start, and have grown into this championship, and target was to get back to a county final, and whoever comes out on top tomorrow, I think this Kinnegad team are better prepped to have a go at them. More so than a couple of years ago.
I'm going to use the word again, momentum. Kinnegad, have had that momentum coming in. Needed to win their last group game, got through, scraped into a quarter final. They were knockout football. Comprehensive win over Colliery, comfortable really in the end, and then a step further here today, and they're a side with momentum.
Yeah, momentum, but equally for that group of players, Ray, we saw the colour that they brought to a county final a couple of years ago after a long absence from being in here on the main day of the season. And Westmeath GA needed Kinnegad as a thriving town need it, and the bunting will start to go up now. And look, it's going to be this end of the county that they're going to be playing. It's going to be their Mullingar Shamrocks or their near neighbour, the Downs, and it'll be a great atmosphere and a great occasion. And they've worked very hard for that. You've mentioned Josh Gahan coming back from America. Jack Torpy came on and made a difference. I thought Danny Woods at full back really took the game. He said, I have a job to do, and whoever's in here, and he matched up physically to John Heston, and then he brought his side of the game when Heston had to come out the field further. Woods decided he could get on a bit more ball and drive forward, and a real collective effort. And I'm delighted for Kinnegad on their performance today, and fully deserving.
So we know one finalist from the intermediate and from the senior this year, Tubberclair, winning the first game here of the double header in TG Cusick Park, and the second one, the big one really, the Senior Football Championship, Shay Murtagh sponsoring both competitions. It is the men from Kinnegad who go through to the final. Am I right? It's their second final in 3 years, Shane, or second in 4 years, whatever, anyway, but they'll be delighted to get back there again. You have to be in it to win it, and that's where Coralstown Kinnegad are. They won here today on the scoreline of 1 goal and 20 points to St. Lomans' 1 goal and 16 points, so we will have new champions, that much we know for definite. I want to thank Shane Dunham for joining me, as always, on the co-commentator, and Sarah Gavin, she's been on the camera. Mark Pittman over in Birmingham on the desk for 24/7 TV, bringing you all the replays and the pictures as well, transferred from England. So we thank you for all your work. We're going to be back here tomorrow for the second of the 2 semi-finals in both intermediate and senior. A cracking double header on view there with Milltown and Shandona, and the battle then of the near neighbours, the Downs and Mullingar Shamrocks. So join us then. Coming up then on Earview TV next weekend, we will have all our hurling finals covered here, and then finish up the following week with all our football finals. But from myself, Ray Gavin, I'm going to say goodbye from TG Cusick Park, and we'll join us back here tomorrow for the other semi-finals.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GAA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Sevens Coaches, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA Hurling Championships. Clark's Bar, wishing all teams the very best today. MJ Stone Building and Developments, proud sponsor of Westmeath GAA.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shay Murtagh Precast.